Not much of an intraday trade, even though it's up quite nicely. Let's have a look at the daily, see what this one's been doing. Zoom out here. Okay, so it looks like this one IPO. Did it IPO just recently here? Let me confirm that quickly. No, this one's been doing, okay, this one IPO'd back in 2021, guys. Yeah, this is obviously a SPAC because it's hovering around that $10 area. That's an obvious tell. Not sure why this one's been moving down. Don't know why it broke that 10 area. It'd been doing that 10 area for for the better part of January to for the better part of 2022. So not sure. Can't help you with that one. LNZA, a bit of a tough one to read, but it is a SPAC, so be careful with that. Guys, we are all out of time. It is now 2 o'clock, and we're going to send you the big kahunas on the closing show. Make sure to go to the next stream if you're not automatically sent there. It is a new link. So for me, Luca, and the rest of the team, guys, we will see you tomorrow.
Ciao for now.
Hey guys, 2 o'clock, welcome back. Yeah, a couple hours left on a pretty red looking Tuesday afternoon here as we head towards session lows once again, unfortunately, to kick off the final 2 hours of the day. It is tech, and it has been tech all day long leading. There's the NASDAQ now a clean 2% to the downside and then some, 2.07 in fact, 1.9 for the S&P, 1.82 for the Dow. The Dow was actually faring a little bit better early on this morning, but has quickly caught up on the way to the downside. Pretty ugly here as well in Toronto, 1.19% for the TSX. Crude oil, the only one in positive territory there, 0.2 to the upside. Yeah, that happened. Ethereum now down 2%, while Bitcoin only hanging out around break even. Pretty good afternoon as far as opportunities, though. Lots of trending names if you have been on the right direction or been in the right direction. There's a lot of pretty clean moves that we'll get into here a little bit. Still the industrials group that's leading this move. There's one lonely stock in positive territory down there. Commercial services and supplies, whatever that is, positive on the day, but everything else in the industrials group, red. Everything basically in the tech group, red as well. One positive one there is PayPal, back to the upside after a pretty ugly week last week. But semiconductors have been under pressure all day long. Still Intel leading, 4.7. We talked about that TSM order that they've pushed to 2024 now instead of next year. AMAT as well, 3% kind of a day for AMAT. Banks are weak, consumer discretionary names pretty weak as well. Healthcare stocks, you name it, pretty much right across the board. It's downside, including energy names. There are a few in positive territory, but that's it. 1.91 currently for the S&P 500. Yeah, it's a red, ugly start to a holiday shortened week. We're back into some key levels, though. If you go out to a higher time frame on the overall market, getting back in this pullback into some key levels here where we might be able to find some support, hopefully, and keep this uptrend overall intact. Hope your afternoon's going well. Let's get into a bit of a review. We'll go back and talk a little bit about some of the things that we were discussing in the pre-market if you were with us this morning as far as opportunities were concerned. Take a look at how they ended up playing out, where the opportunities were, where they were not, things of that nature. Neil is here. He's going to lead us off with a look at one of his trades from this morning.
Welcome, Trade of the Day brought to you by Day Trade of the World. It's going to be Pinduoduo today, and was a fun one. All the Chinese ADRs were pretty weak. PDD was down. There was some JD news. Alibaba was a little bit weak, but it was Pinduoduo. And the reason I like this trade is because we all look for a setup. Why are you trading the stock in the first place? And this is all about the daily chart here. So you can see one of the strongest trending ADRs out there, Chinese ADRs out there, had been holding up pretty well. But this line, that 50-period moving average, it had been hugging it, bouncing off of that, showing strong trend on the daily. And you finally crack it. You also crack a bit of a double bottom at 90, a little lower level there at 89. And you're gapping beneath all of these levels. For a few weeks now, I've actually had an alert set for when it would get below this price. So I was simply going to look for shorts beneath those prices. Now, it's not always easy when you gap that far away from a level. It wasn't as simple as saying, okay, well, if it gets back up to 92 in the 50 period on the daily, we'll short that. If it gets back to 90, we'll short 89.90 or something along those lines. Other times, you just know you want short on that trend reverse, and you have to work your way in off the open. Now, there was some impatience here. You'll see right at 9:30, I mean, a little bit of a sell happened at 9:30. That's real. It was 87 all the way down to 83.5, and I had one teensy little scalp trade in there trying to catch a piece of that move in and out quickly, but then you settle down a bit. I know I want the net short, so it showed you a capitulation candle down, a big time recovery to the upside, and you know what the trend is like. So at the end of the day, if the buyers come in and can get this above the pre-market highs, I might have to respect it for a wipeout bottom and a breakout, but it has to get past those highs. Once it starts curling right back at that pre-market consolidation area, I start working into the short. Just above that 87 mark, I know I've got 88 as cover. It does a couple of times, does these wick tops up there, and when you get these false breaks, I'm adding to the position. I want some of the pressure relieved, however. So I do wait to get out till it gets down into 86, take that quick little scalp trade in there off of VWAP. It then tries to make another flush, can't get through. I take some out at the lower high, now relieved a little bit more pressure. So I'm thinking about where do I join the trend again? Well, obviously I'm gonna like it if we can cash that top 87.5, but you might not get that. If it's a trend to the downside, you're likely to get a lower high. So let it gravitate back up, makes a top here at 87, and I short the curl. I'm always looking, I just prefer, if you're going to get into something on a trend trade, it's a little bit easier to allow it to make the next step and then you join the party as opposed to trying to make the bottom or make that top. Now, I already know where the buyer stepped in last time, so I'm respecting 86. I'm not wasting my time with VWAP. The next out's going to be 86. I might have missed a chance right here to roll back in on that over-under at VWAP. I think that was a missed opportunity. And once it broke the low, that's a trailing stop all the way. I'm allowing it get to the absolute bottom. I thought it could have tested that low from the morning. It does not. It does this wipeout bottom. My trailing stop hits, and we're able to take a nice winner on Pinduoduo. And the key thing about $2.5, $3 down here is I let it decide how far it wanted to go when it broke morning support, but I knew the only direction I wanted to be in. Everything starts with a premise, and this was as simple as it had been hugging the 50 period, it gapped below the 50 period, I'm looking for shorts at the open. That's why PDD is your trade of the day.
And a great one to kick things off this morning. Back to the downside we go for most of the Chinese ADRs today. We'll talk about that coming up. If you haven't done so yet, guys, make sure you scan that QR code, enter your email address. You can go to watchlist.tradertv.live as well. Same link as well. Just get that for free every single morning. It's super easy. To start off your morning in the pre-market, I was just watching Microsoft moving around here still a little bit. Anyways, there was this one as well. FMS popped up. They reported in the middle of the day for some strange reason, a little one back to the upside, probably got leaked, but big move up for them. FMS, there's all these headlines though that came across during the midday period in regards to Microsoft. President Brad Smith announcing a 10-year licensing deal with NVIDIA that's going to see all sorts of gaming, Activision gaming, if that Activision deal goes through, available on NVIDIA platforms. So Microsoft itself was moving around on that. NVIDIA a little bit more initially, as the guys in the midday show were talking about. But we'll kick things off here, guys, with big tech, as we were discussing in the pre-market this morning. There was this as well, Meta up on the plan to sell Twitter-like verified tags, but they were also talking to Tencent about selling their Quest headset over in China.
So we got stopped once. Hey guys, welcome back to the big show. Yeah, big tech wreck today. Big wreck. Good band. My wife loves them. You could see up here, huge move to the upside right now for Apple early, and we just kept on shorting it, and then eventually, you know, sirens alerted out, and nice move to the downside. And there goes Apple, just at it, stays low now. Obviously, I said the market still probably has 2 to 4% to the down, or let's say 4 to 5% to the downside. So today you get 2. I do expect more. I said we'd probably see that 12,000, and we're not too far off. It's 12,100 right now. So I'm pretty sure today we hit this out of the park, and our trades will reflect that. All shorts here today for Apple until we got out of our last little piece there when we took 150, which kind of sucks because right now you're down near the day's low. But we started with that. We're short Meta right now, 50 cents in the money off of. We tried the long long 173. We told you we would. Then we just shorted it, and now it's just cash money coming through again here for Meta to the downside. We actually just got another fill right there. Just now, we got a 134 fill. You can see we just shorted 172.90. So that's 60 cents to the downside with another fill right there. So I don't know. These just keep on working out, and then I mean, retail, we'll talk about Home Depot and Walmart. I don't think either one of us have a trade there, but, Amazon, again, could have been, like I said, all these could have been the trade of the day. I'm glad we did PDD. Here's Amazon, though, huge move down, and we still have a piece of this one as well. So, yeah, man, all the big tech names continue to be shorts, and we're on pretty much all of them. I also had an NVIDIA short we could talk about. AMD was a monster trade for me on the short side today as well. So, glad to be back, glad to be shorting this market, and hey, we did it again.
Yeah, the shorts really paid off today, and wherever you happen to have them. You know what, I'll talk about Docu in a second because it's not really on there, but that one we're back into. Microsoft, yada, 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 AI was a bit of a thing last week, and they were getting beaten up over it. Now, I did wait till 54 was taken out to short this name. There's a reason why. Go back, and I was talking about PDD and on the trade of the day, and it's the same sort of premise here. The 200-period moving average on the dailies at 254. You kind of saw it hold 254 at the open, up and down. It did take it out a couple of times, so you got some wicks beneath it at the open, and then when it finally broke through, that's when I started shorting it. So allow it to break the level for good, and then that support turns into resistance. So 54 short into 53, 54 short into 53, 54 short, and then when it breaks, wait for it to make a bottom and then trail it out. So you play the scalp range in there for the buck, but then you get that move that takes it into 52. I didn't try it again down here I thought it was okay. I mean, it was sort of getting 52.5 into 52 once, reloaded it, now flat trade, but not enough movement over there on Microsoft. The other one, and this was a weird theme for me today because even DocuSign, like all three of the best shorts for me were all just stocks that broke the 200-period moving average on the daily. DocuSign here at 60. Once it broke beneath it, it happened to catch a downgrade. I mean, I guess that's part of it too, but it broke that level. You saw it get smoked through. We had to short a few times in the morning off of that 60 level, and now off the lower high. I've been shorting that 59.5 area, the lower high in the afternoon here. So, it's interesting. Like when you get a trending market, guess what? If it's trending up, sometimes off a recovery, you've been breaking out the 50 and the 200. Today, in a weak market, we were finding a couple of names that were doing it the other way, which were taking out that 200 period on the daily. All the big tech names are weak today, but you had to find a way to pick the one you wanted at the level you wanted.
Yeah, Meta as well. Here's now a negative Meta after starting the day, gapping to the upside on this 10-cent Twitter news that I showed you earlier. Comes down to 172, which was that level from Friday. But Meta, a bit of a grind with the overall market back into negative territory as well. We were a little unsure as far as what was going to happen with some of these retail names. I want to show you Home Depot and then Walmart because they're heading in the opposite directions in a big way today. It was very clear right out of the gate. We had relative strength and relative weakness, but both, I lost the Walmart story here, but both pointing to the forecast. Forecast was a problem, full year and Q4 for both, not that bad.
You know what's interesting? When I got in here, I think Sharif and I were both thinking the same thing. Like, man, Walmart wasn't that bad of a report. And look at it on the daily. That looks pretty juicy off its 200-period moving average. And 138, that area looked like it would be juicy for a dip buy. Thought maybe you'd get it. And Walmart had some other ideas, being one of the strongest names in the market today. Now it's going to show that it's flat on the session. That does not remotely do it justice. I shorted it once off 147. It lost. I walked away. Glad I did. That simple. So not really much to see with Walmart, except to say that I thought the way the market's reacting to this, that poor guide, is definitely a positive here because you have a weak market, you have not a perfect report. Again, the full year forward guidance wasn't great, and it gets absolutely bought up. So I think it's a good story here for Walmart. The only thing I wish I had a stink bid in my personal account at the 200 period or that level on the daily, and maybe I would have caught a fill and would have been up. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. There's better things to trade this afternoon, though, I think.
Yeah, I didn't trade Walmart or Home Depot. As I said, my predictor of the future there. I said that we wouldn't be trading these names today, and it looks like we have not. Walmart, though, down, upside, Home Depot, downside. Right now, I told you the levels I was looking at, maybe 280. I thought Walmart could eventually fall down into, or sorry, Home Depot could eventually fall down into, and I think that, you've taken out the 200 period right now, which is right there, and the 50 period on this earnings report. I don't know enough about these names to talk too much about them, and we don't really trade them, so we're just talking heads on these ones, guys. But if you want, any sort of retail trades, I was trading Amazon today, and I just continue to be short on these names, just to the downside. I know Neil said, pick your poison on the tech shorts today, but honestly, they all pretty much, I know Meta's gone upside, and I'm short Meta right now as it's turned red finally. But yeah, today it looks like we are going to just continue downside pushes here, and I just want to remain short. It's about as easy as we can talk about it right now to the short side. We did get stopped out of our AMD, and I also got stopped out of NVIDIA. I had all these names short. Here's NVIDIA, short, out, until, I don't have it, until we got stopped out right there when it took the 50 period, which was good. That was on that new Microsoft news because it did go all the way to 210, but that was just another shorting opportunity. So I'm glad I took some out of NVIDIA last week around that I thought it was 228 or something like that, which would have been really high up. So maybe it was 224, but glad we're out of NVIDIA last week. That was pretty easy, way too far, way too fast. We talked about that. So on to the next, JD and PDD.
Yeah, no bid in either today. JD, the worst off here, 11.35%. Gaps to the downside in the pre-market, and that's basically the highest levels it's seen all day long, all the way back to 47 now for this one. Ugly on this. They're going to move over to Pinduoduo's territory, launching a bargain e-commerce site. They're more on the high end or more common type items, but going into PDD's land, not a good news story for either here, guys, creating competition.
No, and look, I won't recap. I won't go back over. We just talked about Pinduoduo, but I will say this about Alibaba. And speaking of said 200 period moving averages, this is one that could get there this week. Maybe not today because you don't always get a lot of movement in these in the afternoon, quite frankly. But Baba's down 5%, not as bad as the others. However, same sort of flat bottom breakdown, consolidation breakdown. This already did it last week. You remember last week I was talking about Baba liking shorts once it did that and finding your way into them if you could. It was a similar thing today for Pinduoduo and to an extent JD.com. Once this started happening, I'm just going to point it out. This buyer at 95 seems to be gone. However, there was something going on here. It flushed on big volume in a 95 and then caught a really big bid, flushed right back in on one candle, a huge dip right back in the 95, and then just started holding. So once I saw that, I was scalping long. I eventually gave it up, and now these are falling asleep again. So I don't think this is going to be too much of a trade there, but I wanted to update DocuSign for a quick second because it just broke VWAP up and down a couple of times. I'm going to be reloading this at about 59.40 or so, and then looking for the outs in front of 59 even. If it breaks 59, maybe it gets back to the low of the day, but that's what I'm actually in. All of the Chinese ADRs, pull up a chart. Maybe Neil's doing something different, but all of them right now, just this sideways action. So I'm pretty sure they're dead till tomorrow.
All right. I don't know, did we pass Meta and Tencent? I don't know if we did or not. But right here, I'm still short Meta, man. Breaking off that 173. We talked about 73 becoming an issue there from Friday's close. That was right there. I tried the long, and then I was like, nah, we'll just go short, and glad we did that as we are printing now on Meta to the downside. Remember, one quick thing here. We are very, very close to the ES cracking here, 4,000. So that's going to be something that you're going to have to watch out for as the NASDAQ and the ES obviously coming back down together right now. So here's 4,000. We're at 4,005 right now. So, I'm short Meta, I'm short Amazon, and long nothing as we're going to break through 4,000. I mean, I selected that when, when that poll was first up there on the first show. Let's just see what happens right now. But looks like it's going to take it out, and I'm glad to be short some of these big names. So yeah, that's about it. I'm just going to focus on, the stocks that I have right now. Amazon continues to make moves to the downside, trying to be down that's day low. Of course, you guys can see where we're short this one all the way up here right now, 95.50. So that's going to be a good one, $1.20, trying to break lower. Then honestly, Meta's had a problem right here, and I'm not really sure. Let's go to the 3-minute chart, although we have that bad wick. What is this level right here? That's 170 flat. So I feel like we shouldn't have any problems. Meta could dump down here. Let's just see what happens heading into this close. I'm glad to be short this name. Let's see if it continues to work. Hopefully we don't have to test this 50 period. They don't want to have to make a decision. Let's see if Meta continues to fly. The most aggressive fill that I've gotten today is right here, right now, 24s. So we just came back in for Meta. It's just another one for us right now, as we've got a big 70-cent win here for Meta and a $1.25 for Amazon.
A note when we came back on there at 2 o'clock, guys, from Bank of America suggesting that Meta could have as many as 12 million paying subs on that verification idea by the end of next year. So 12 million paying some sort of fee. They said $11.99 or something like that this morning would be the verification fee for Meta's platform. So interesting from Bank of America already commenting on that. Wasn't much to do on Uber today. There's just that note regarding India, 25,000 EVs introduced to Uber over in India today.
Yeah, there wasn't a trade on Uber today, at least not that I could find. However, there was an EV name that is not having a good day. But I am long Lucid. I'll try to explain why. If you're watching the midday show, then Luca probably already explained this one to you. Lucid hit down 10%. And I don't know exactly why specifically Lucid was the weakest name. I just know that they had an issue today, and at the end of the day, you just look for that kind of movement and see if there's an interesting trade. I always look for, can it bounce off 10% down? It triggered short sell restricted by 2 cents, I believe, 2 or 3 cents. And then from there, it's managed to hold the low. And that's just, it's like a day trader type trade where you look for it to hold a bid down there. The short sellers, aggressive short sellers, need an uptick to be able to short off the bid, so it's a little bit more difficult for it to go down. It really only popped back into 10, so it gave you a decent trade. Now it's going sideways on a higher low. So I'm still in it, giving it to the low of the day and looking for it to get to VWAP. But at the end of the day, there's really not much for Lucid. And I know we talked about, I know Uber was the one that had the news. On a day like today, like the one you wanted to be looking at, not Uber, is Lyft. Uber had a good report, Lyft didn't. So the fact that Uber wasn't going up, or at least showing strength on some positivity, on some kind of a positive catalyst, should have been just more of an excuse to go over and beat up on Lyft. Because right here at the open, now I didn't look at Lyft, this is all in hindsight, but the second I saw no actual long trade on good news in Uber, I think I should have been looking at a short for Lyft, and it cracked $11. And just flushed at the open and pretty much gave you a clean trade down into 10.50. They continue to be the one that's beat up. So if you find weakness over in Uber, just give a look at Lyft and say, why not short that one instead? It does have a temporary bottom here on the gap down at about $10, but until it gets to that, there's still room.
Yeah, so I'll just talk about Tesla a little bit. I mean, Tesla today, good little crack there of $200. I mean, the first one wasn't great. Actually, it was not bad. We wicked down all the way down to $199, so that would have been a great opportunity there to pick something up. But then you had a huge move back, not a huge move, but back to 203, which is that 200 period. Respected. So right now, 201.50, although we're starting to, break pretty good here on Tesla. So, yeah, again, where do we think it's going to stop? Nobody knows, unfortunately, I feel like. But, that 199, this could be a level right here for Tesla. So watch out for that 197.40 or 50 is that very low tick there. So that's something to look at for sure here for TSL to the A as we look for a little bit of an upside move here, bouncing off 199. And it's just sometimes you got to zoom out to sort of see that where we've bounced off of before. So I like that 199 area. I'm just not sure I'm convinced that the right play here is long. So that's where I am with all of this. Okay, just making sure. Arca's all right. Yeah, 199 and change. So again, before Tesla, or not Tesla, sorry. Before, what are you talking about? Oh, okay. Before we come back in here, 170 to 30, I feel like is a nice little downside spot there, and we just missed it. It just popped to 60 again. So I'm going to take another piece out here on Meta in case we're wrong. I mean, it is possible that we're wrong, obviously, here into today, and maybe the move is a bounce off of 4,000. I mean, we can check out the ES.
We're at 4,000 right now, though. So
yeah, I know.
It
It's at 4,004.
You got to hold your shorts in case it breaks, no? Am I wrong?
I mean,
I think so. I'm holding. I want to hold through the break.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. I mean, we're already we could get out of something. I mean, I want to stay true to what I'm doing, right? And I mean, we're not going to have a red name today, and it's for some of these reasons. So here we go. Let's see. I mean, it's 4,002 right now. We might as well switch this. The Nasdaq's at 12.1, right? We don't care. I don't care that much about the Nasdaq right now. It is going to be more about watching the ES break through 4,000. So here it is right now, getting a small bounce. I'm going to just be true. Get out. Yeah, I should have put a bid out there. 172.40 or so. Let's get a piece out of Meta. And hey, if we're wrong, look, the best part about this trade is that if we're wrong, then we took 50 cents and we still have a piece to go. So I think this is a good trade here. Should have got out before. Let's just wait to see what happens now. Maybe it does pull down. We crack 4,000 and then we're really laughing all the way to the bank. We're already banked out here. So, I mean, if it comes back in, we'll just add to the top line here as if it's like an income statement, and then we'll wait to see where this market goes from there. But I am now waiting at 172.40 to get a little bit of a bid here on Meta, and then we'll see if it cracks through 4K.
Yeah, everything is just resting on the lows right now, or on support, whichever way you want to look at it. You look at Google, or Alphabet, I should say, and this one, it's kind of barcoding. You'll see how far it is down. Like, it's already cracked 93. It's through last week's bottoms. But if it can get back, this has to clear 92. Like, if you're thinking 4,000 bounces, like, I'd want this breaking back above 92. As a matter of fact, now I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't take any more out of DocuSign. Maybe that was the right call. It keeps bouncing off 59. Like, forget about VWAP for a split second. This keeps getting down to 59, breaking 59, then coming right back up to VWAP. So the next time it comes down here, I'm just going to get on the bid and take something out because I'm going to respect what it wants to show me are the levels. Now, if we get a pop in this market, I didn't take a single trade on Intel today, and there has not been any significant bounce in Intel at any point today. Down 5% and still hugging the lows. If there is a fade on a pop up, I want to try it over in Intel here. Maybe we get a VWAP bounce and look for the short. Maybe we get a 15-cent bounce and look for the short in Intel. I just know this is a name on any kind of strength I got to have into the south side. I'm looking at Meta 173 and just saying if it was the one level I liked long, and I did go long eventually. I forgot to point this out. We did say 173 bounce, and I eventually did take the trade, although a little bit too late. It bounced once, it bounced twice, 3 times, 4 times. I got it the 5th time, and the 6th time was no good. So I think it's about the only level that was any good, and I had the longs off of it. I think it's, like Sean said, he's got the short in there. I think that's the one that makes some sense to get it back in on that name. And I am looking at the small caps. So I see you, AMC. Now, I had one trade on AMC, and it is making a good bottom off the morning lower high here at 555. So up 9%. For whatever reason, it's up today. I know there's a ton of call volume, like the March $10 calls. We're doing a ton of volume. Okay. Good luck with that. But anyways, either way, good double bottom here at 560. I think if this can get above VWAP, it's good. I think if I can get a long in front of 550 and fade into that, that's not that bad a trade either. It's got room to run, certainly. Very few names are this strong, so I'll give it the cred.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed in myself because, I talked about getting a piece out of Meta there, and quite frankly didn't do it. So yeah, a little disappointed, but we'll try to short it one more time, I guess, upside there. Actually, so the thing is, I can edit my script order here because I did actually get a piece out right there at 30, right at 2 o'clock as Neil was doing the trade of the day, and then sort of got, I did think we were going to break 4,000. I still think we can. So that's why I'm going to be here to average in one more time upside now for Meta. I'm short at 90. We'll see if we can get like an 80 or something, Phil, right now in that, and then see. But I mean, here it comes. I mean, hopefully hopefully it fills 41 and then everything is fine. And then we'll be like, oh, we should have reloaded it right there. But we'll put an order there now. Here it comes. So good. So now we'll see if this goes to the downside. Hopefully it still comes in, man. We are double the shorts right now. So is there like a long that we could get? I mean, AMC today is strong. It's up 10%. So maybe this is the long here today.
Not much else.
For AMC. Yeah, there's not a whole heck of a lot else that is green. XOM is green. PayPal's green. We talked about PayPal a little bit. We could look over there. But AMC just now on another run, man. That bottom of 560. Let's just zoom this out a little bit more here. We will watch how it's trading on the level 2, but that 550 held, right? Not only that, 550, I wasn't here on Friday, but 550 also held on Friday a couple times as the top. So no surprise there. And I just wish I would have looked at this. You know, but like most of trading is hindsight. That's why all you could do is think about where my next trade's going to be. So I'm looking at this right here and saying that should have been a long. I just wasn't looking at AMC and should have been, because that break of that high from Friday on strength into a weak market pretty much tells you everything you need to know. So that was a great move upside. Now I feel like you're kind of stuck again until you, I mean, then look where we just came back into, 550 again. So I feel like we're stuck on AMC until we get to that 550 level. Hopefully that will come in again. It's only 580 right now. Let's check in on another runner, of course. Yeah, I mean, this one's just running for the hills. It looks like Bed Bath & Beyond.
Oh, goodness, again?
It's not even really doing anything. It's just, you know, on the daily when it looks like this, there's lots of opportunity to short here because he would have never gone against you. That's really it. But it's just ticking down. And then, you know, you take 1 penny, you might not have been able to get more than that on the short side. So, yeah, pretty quiet trade. I feel like, what is the volume, 40 million? Yeah, so that was just a guess, actually. When it was printing, you guys, we're up to 200+ million shares. It's really slowed down. It's 2:30 at night in the afternoon. So I don't, you know, I think this is probably done for now, man. Bed Bath & Beyond. I'd say stick a fork in this one and let's look at it once volume picks up a little bit. Otherwise, I think you got to just take it early and just hold on. Like take it at 9:30, wait for the move at 3 or
Short the pop.
That's what I'm saying. Just take it early so that you have short. And then short the pops, because other than that, it just drifts down. It's been doing that every day.
Yeah, and so I see in the chat a lot of people are saying, have a look at, because you mentioned PayPal. I saw a couple people mention have a look at Affirm, which is, it's down 1%, but it's actually holding up pretty well. I'll start with the daily chart here, because there's your 50 period. So it's kind of been bouncing off that for the last week and a half at 1240-ish. And then, yeah, it is making higher lows. Hey, I'm in a highly shorted name, holding, okay, that's not the greatest trend line I've ever drawn in my life, but you guys get the general idea. And it could be breaking out at 13 in the afternoon. Okay, that's relative strength. That's something I could go. I'll double check the short interest. It's not what it used to be, but it is not bad at all on Affirm. And PayPal is pretty solid. Yeah, that trend line is pretty bad, Neil. Let's just get rid of that because it's ugly and I could have done better. Not that I care about a trend line, it's just a good way to show you that it's pretty much holding all day long. A 13 breaks in play, but I think looking at consolidation and dips and the stock that's doing this makes some sense to me. 1280 in here for a scalp trade, even better if you can get word made that up-down curl at 1265. That'd be fantastic. Or it's just a straight 13 break. I am now on the bid of AMC, but I kind of, like Sean said, got to that one maybe a little bit too late off that 550 area, but I am looking for the first pullback into that price and then go long in front of the 550. And I do see Sorrento, SRNE. I paid for shorts too slow on this morning, so I missed the short right here into VWAP, and since then it's just a VWAP bounce that has not carried to the high of the day. More interesting if it either breaks support or makes a challenge at the high of the day. Not terribly interested in it in this little bit of a tight range. So I'm kind of walking away from that. And I did ring the register on Docu when it just got back down to 59. So as long as it wants to hold in this range and to get back on the offer up here, 59, 40-ish, and see if we can't grab some shorts again and DocuSign up at the top, this market is trying to bounce. I do want longs that aren't AMCs and Affirms, because those aren't exactly, you know, if the market were to make a big comeback rally, you want some of the tech names in there. You don't just want the beaten up short names.
I'm going to go long Microsoft. So Microsoft bouncing its head off of 253 right now. I like that break, especially if the market wants to go with it. I'm a little nervous if we don't get like a market break here on the ES for that 253, so we don't really want it. You can see we've just been bouncing off here a bunch of times. I mean, this low could come into play, which is why I'm not going long right now. I really like to see, I mean, let's go. Down to the downside comes Meta. We were just pennies away from getting more short there, by the way. It stopped at 79. Like, I guess it stopped at 78 there. We're at 79, or else we'd have another position. But again, we're still short Meta. We're happy about it. Let's just leave that one alone. But Microsoft is going to be a take for the long side. It's only down 2%, but look, it's holding up fine. Like, the market's holding up fine. This is the largest weight in, I'll have to double check it, but was the largest weight in the NASDAQ by just like bips, like, you know, 0.2, something like that. In there, ahead of Apple, that may have changed, but Microsoft in the ES as well. So yeah, this is going to be a good break. Let's just wait to see if it happens. And if it doesn't happen, then if we get the break, I'll probably give it down to 50 or 60, somewhere around there, to let it breathe a little bit. Because if we do get this break of Meta, then yeah, of Microsoft, then I think we do have a monster move potential here to the upside on that one. So let's go. All right, so there's our short. Hey, look. There we go. Okay, so we're getting out of everything now, which is kind of fine. Amazon out. Wicked trade, man. Bang for you, Henry, if you're there. Bang for you, Greg Moore. Bang for you, Jorge. Whoever's in the chat right now. Big trade alert right there for Amazon. We are now out. You can see we're getting lighter and lighter, waiting for that next proverbial shoe to drop. So let's see where it's going to drop, man. It's like we're dropping a new track here. Nice move to the upside there. Let's wait to see if Microsoft goes. We just got into more short for Meta. I know like it, but what am I supposed to do? Just wait for it to break through 73, I guess. And then here it goes right now. And then Microsoft right now as well, getting warmed up to break that 53, although it's coming to the downside, which is kind of strange. Maybe we do have the wrong name here. It looks like that one that we just got out of, which was Amazon, might be the one that's strong, guys. Amazon's strong.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I just got stopped out of my short there and everything else kind of hovering. So let's wait to see what Amazon does.
Yeah, you know what? By the way, I'm putting an offer out here in front of 10s on Lucid just because I'm not sure it gets to VWAP at this point, but you know, it's been barcoding and it gives you this nice little run. It's a $10 stock, so if you can take 10 cents when it's not moving, then I'll take that all day, every day. I am trying to get, one more time, I'll try to get DocuSign to the short side. However, AMC is starting to, well, it was already picking up. It was already strong. I'm not going to sit here and say it was not doing anything, but it's giving you that higher low. Sure, yes, I want the long in front of 550. I am bidding in the 60s there to grab it. But if we just clean break VWAP here, I might just go for the 585 move into 6 and then give that to like 70 to 75. Like, I don't want to miss out on this. The same way the same way I'm willing to catch Affirm up at some of those highs. I might just jump into an AMC on a 585 break. I do prefer the dip buy, but you know what? You can only buy the dip if the stock comes down, last I checked. Unless you know one way to get like Madoff type fills, then you guys let me know. But last I checked, it has to come to the price that you want. So I might not get these. And if the next move is a consolidation here, breakout, then I'm here for the breakout because this one seems like it wants to go. Affirm is a very similar story. And you mentioned Amazon there. I was looking at Google, but that's really weak. I thought maybe this could have made a bottom. I don't know. This feels way too weak. I'm going to throw Google out. Maybe if the market rolls back over, I'd look for a short in Google, or Alphabet, I should say. But I'm not looking for the longs over there. That looks way too weak for me over there in Alphabet. Let's go for AMC. Trying to get some Lucid out there. And if we get Affirm, we get Affirm.
Yeah, I've switched, man. I'm not going to look for longs. We have a new position alert right now. I mean, if Microsoft goes, it goes. You guys can take it if you want. I don't know, I'm not super convinced. I'm just upset that I got out of Apple, to be honest with you, because Apple, again, we talked about the short. We really like that short, and it's now breaking through 148. But I do have a new trade alert. It's just Meta. Meta's about to get stopped out, first of all, and that one I just feel dumb with because I should have got out of it, but that's okay. Hopefully it comes back down a little bit. But here we go. New position here. Let's take a piece out because we just got into it, first of all, and that's going to be Uber. Hopefully that can come down. Okay, Uber. Okay, we'll see if we can get a 22 right now. We're just going to take, we'll take 6 cents on 20% if we can get that fill. Because look right here. Uber right now has that top right there of 40. So I was just going to go short here 30s, which we have, and give it to 40s, like so 10 cents or so with an average in and around here at 45. Uber today down 1.5, so not down that much, but it's one of those names that has retraced back upside a little bit. So let's see if we just missed that opportunity to get that 22. So now we're right back to virtually flat. We're short at 28 right now on Uber. Yeah, what I was talking about was Apple was just too bad because we knew it was really short and it's the #1 name, but it's just like, should have held it. I said to Neil, like, this is how I guess you win. You just hold stuff all day and don't even worry about any danger spots. But again, Apple did come back to VWAP where we got out right there when it broke through the 200 period. It just sucks that was $1 ago, and we could have had still monster position here for Apple, and we don't. We had a big one earlier. Now we don't. So we're going to wait on that one. Hopefully Uber comes back, and then we're just basically waiting a few more pennies to the upside before Meta gets stopped out in what was a pretty bonehead trade for me. But we'll test it out here, hopefully hold it. But now if it drops down, it's just more lucky because we're pennies away from getting stopped out here on Meta. But hey, still a good name, just probably should have taken it out because it was the strong one. So we should have recognized that a little sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that's going to happen. But there's not a lot that's that strong. That said, I mean, I keep talking about the same two names that are strong, but everything I come across, someone just said, have a look at DoorDash, and I pull it up and I'm like, oh, that looks like a short. Everything looks like a darn short when it makes a pop like this. But DoorDash, 5% down, and this is going to suck. This actually gets a lot uglier $2 from now. I'm setting up an alert for the 50 period on DoorDash. If this gets beneath 56, that's going to be a spicy one to be sure. It's already been 2 days of you-know-what since earnings, and you're just again trending down. The lower high is the morning support was at 58.60. So that's where I think I'd want to put the short on. As of now, I'm just on the offer back again on DocuSign. I might get a little bit more aggressive with that offer now just to make sure that I can catch it. Oh, but here comes AMC actually. So that's a bit strange. AMC was on its way to breaking out. Now it's coming back down. So this is what I was kind of hoping would happen. Get the better fills, which I think is going long in front of 550, as opposed to having to take the breakout up here. So we're trying to be patient with it. I want it to make its move, and I want to be able to react to that move first. And Abhishek is saying PayPal is holding green today. Is it worth a long? You know, I looked at PayPal, and I'm shocked at how little it's moving. It doesn't. I'm a little surprised at PayPal holding strength up 1%, and this is what it's got a 25-cent range since we got off air at 11 o'clock, which is, I mean, it's a little bit more than that, but that's insane. And it's relatively strong, so no volume, market making a bottom. Normally, yeah, you're long in front of 75 all day long. I just think you have to scalp this for what it's worth, hold a core position, but this makes sense for a long. I'm not saying this isn't a good long. It's relatively strong, holding VWAP, 75's long, risk 5 to 10 cents, maybe more than that, but you got to scalp the 20 cents that it's giving you because it's like this is basically looking like an EKG, or is that what you call it? Like a little heartbeat?
I'd say so, yeah.
That's all it is. So you know what? I'm convincing myself, like, why not? Like, this makes sense. I'll get in front of 75, and I'll throw a bid down there. And if we get down here, work the long, give 15, 20 cents out of it, and then if the market breaks up, well, you're long a stock that was already up 1% anyways.
All right. Who's in the chat? Bang for you, John. What's up, Will Evans? That's for you right there. What's up? I already said Greg Moore before. What's up, Christy Anderson? Haven't you seen you before? What's up, Reliable Rudy? What's up to everybody that shorted? Money. There's PayPal or Uber. I mean, this is, again, a brand new trade. You guys are coming here to the show. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. I mean, this is the one. I mean, it's a banger right there for you. Rate it right on. So it actually came back up. We got filled again at 30, man. And then here's the move down. It sucks right there because, it did just go to 13, did it? I'm at 12. If that went to 13 there, that's a kick in the you-know-where. But we'll put a bid right there. As it went to, where's Uber? As it went to 12, wow, I was at 12. It just went to 13.5. Okay, that's fine. We'll sit there again, hopefully get another short on that. But a nice little bounce up there in the market. Yeah, it was a good point there, whoever just said that. Yeah, it is a fire alarm kind of day. What's up, guys? Right there. The fire alarm has actually stopped. So,
it is stopped.
It's all good. But what I wanted to get at was, yeah, you might have had a great point there. I should have reversed into the long on Meta. for sure. So that's a missed opportunity there. Should have hit the long in Meta. That's one that I'll probably look back on again and say, hey, if I like the 173 as an area, then we were playing the short into it, which was good until I got careless. It took an 80 short and out an 11 short there. So that was 30 cents hit the wrong way on Meta. But again, not big shares. We only took one extra piece. So we already got out there. We only had a 25%. So we put on another 25%. No, another... is a third of that, so I don't know, whatever it was, we had about 30% of a position there as it broke back up to the upside. So yeah, I probably should have reversed that into the long. And Uber, man, I'm bidding 15s. Why not just bid 17s now? And then we'll see if we can get that. Let's bid 19, we'll see if we can get it. But for right now, Uber to the downside. And what else, man? NVIDIA. Ooh, that was a good short that we had here at 210.50. But again, we dropped that out. Oops, we got to, ooh, good. Well, we got to fill on Meta there, on Uber there at 19s. But yeah, I'm waiting for NVIDIA to come back to 209, where we'd like to reshort that one. And then again, my number 2 name on the day is actually AMD. And that was another one that we shorted here that was really, really good back to the downside. So we really like that AMD. But hey, we've sort of given you one trade here, Uber. We'll see if we can find a little bit more than just one name here.
Thank you guys for mentioning that PayPal, because I mean, telling you, it actually ended up breaking out just now. I'm getting on the bid up here in AMC. It's actually catching a higher low, so as long as it wants to do that, I'll join this and kind of do the same thing where I wanted at that low. Get the consolidation low. If it wants to do it, fantastic. But before we go to Brendan, this is PayPal. It's weird. We just started talking about it, and then instead of it going to VWAP to give you the long, it's actually breaking the channel up. So suddenly the longs above 25 are going to make some sense here, trending on PayPal. Brendo.
I'm just seeing rocket companies popping up here on some cost-cutting headlines coming through. Not much of a move, but there was some volume come in there for RKT. There was also AT&T popped up on some volume as well. It didn't really have any follow-through, but looking to shed their cybersecurity division for AT&T.
140. I'm just getting some more shares here in Uber to make sure that, oopsies, don't put the, almost put the shares as the price. That would never be good. Okay, so we're going to wait again for some 29s upside. It's a good thing we got those out. We did just miss that 13, but as we were there, we took a 19 right in front of you guys and an 18. So my best fills were 19 and 18 off 30 or off 29 shorts. So let's see if we get another 29 short to come into play here for that Uber. Interesting there about rocket companies. We know this name does have short interest. Let's just double check it right now. RKT. So let's look at that right here. And yeah, 35% short float. Earnings next week, the 28th, so a week today for rocket companies. And nice little move up on volume, but it looks like it's sort of sustained itself there. Yeah, not much happening today for RKT. You know, let's just see if it starts to run. It doesn't look like it. 2 million shares isn't bad, but again, sleeping. Not doing much right now. There goes the SPY, by the way.
Yeah, I just got out. So the
fours.
The 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth time was not a charm shorting this level on DocuSign. It's actually broken. I'm not reversing long in this, but I could be convinced that it could be a long into 60 at some point. I just want to see a little bit more volume before I do that. The reversal isn't an automatic play for me as far as I'm concerned. Like sometimes you want the reverse, other times I feel like it's not warranted. I will say there is one short left in the toolbox, and it's going to be Intel, and it's getting right up here. So once we get up to about the 30s, I'm going to look for the first swipe at Intel. And again, the trend just speaks for itself. Like the stock can't seem to bounce more than 10 cents without reversing. So once it gets 10 cents, I start looking for a reversal on this particular name. So I'm going to get on the offer here. If we get any higher, we'll start shorting Intel. It just feels like it makes too much sense to me. Every other chip name is weak, but none of the charts look like this. Like when I juxtapose this with something like an AMD, like you see a little bit better price action in AMD in case you can't tell. Bouncing back up at VWAP here. I know NVIDIA wasn't great, but it's certainly doing better than Intel. And that's why relative weakness to me is something I want to be shorting over in Intel. Give me my bid on AMC. If this doesn't start getting me fills, it's going to get pretty annoying pretty quickly. And that 13, 9 cents away on Affirm. I am looking at a 13 even break.
I'd rather, what's up, Reliable Rudy? You want the money? Which one? The spin money? The money? Let's just go bang. Bang. There we go for Reliable Rudy. Right there for you there. Yeah, lithium, copper, nickel, all of that. Real nice trades there. There was a Canadian lithium company this morning. I don't know what their name is.
It's SBLM. That's the symbol.
Yeah, SBLM.
SGLM.
SG, yeah. That was another name there that Tesla was looking at for lithium. There was also Lithium of America that GM was talking about last week. Okay, so what was a good trade on Uber now has come back a little bit, which is fine. We want to give this Uber trade again. A lot of things look like they want to run right now. The market's pulling back here on the ES. I'm going to actually switch this back over at 4,011. I do want to watch the NASDAQ because that's what I base more of my decisions on. But that's why we're short Uber right there. Just giving you guys the goods here. We've already taken, we were short 29, my best out 28, which gives us kind of that 1-to-1. Was hoping for a downside move in the future since we took this position. Didn't really come through yet on that. If anything, the market's going up right now. So yeah, definitely something to consider. I am debating getting back into this meta. It's just I'm not convinced that we're going to the upside yet. Otherwise, I would just buy Meta now against 173. Give myself 30 cents worth of room, which I think is worth it for this, but I don't know. What do you guys think about Meta? Why did I take, yeah, JD, so that's it. So I just talked about it right there. So good question. Thanks, JD, for that. I mean, that's why I'm here. I took the short, honestly, because it was one of the only names that I was looking at that was back to some kind of a resistance level. It may actually be a long, like the market's down 2% and Uber's much more aggressive than that. It's, trying to turn green, to be honest with you. So let's just see. I was just trying to take it against that level there. Felt like if the market did fall down, look, a lot of the times you just want someone to piggyback you, to be honest with you, but we did get a push down into the 50 period. So all I'm really trying to do, this was a good 1-to-1, if not a little bit more than that. So we did get that, and I told you we would scalp it out. So we did scalp out a bit. Now we've reloaded it. But again, the Uber short is just because we came back to the day's high. It's a little sloppy because it's not really doing anything, and maybe now if I put something near 25, we might be able to get a 25 bid on a drop down, and we'll just take 4 cents. But all we're doing on this trade, to be honest with you guys, is just something like that, man. We're just stacking up the cash. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day today because of those last couple trades there on Uber, and so it's a pretty good one. We did lose a little bit on Meta, but what we lose on Meta, we make back on Uber. So we are at the highest spot. There it is. Sorry, Uber just went back down. So now you can get the money sign there. So little quick reload and then a quick out on Uber. We are trading exact shares, not options. So if something goes in the money 10 cents for us, it's easy for us enough to take it. We don't pay any execution fees if you use the proper gateways.
So I just got PayPal. You'll see there. Got the quarters on PayPal. But I am going to take a short in Alphabet. I said this looked too weak to consider for anything bouncing off 4,000. And it just did an up-down fake at like 92. So above 92, there's 92.10. Comes right back down. So I want to short the 92 level. I might start it in the 90s, actually low 90s, and get some high 90s as well, just to make sure I get the fills in there. And I am now into AMC. I think it's 2 swings at it, maybe even 3. If it holds this consolidation here, we'll get out on the top and the break. If it does not hold the 70 level, I'll look back at that 550, which was the original idea. But I did like the fact that it was consolidating higher. So I just got into Alphabet. I'll interchange those two and say Alphabet and Google. It doesn't really matter. You guys know what I'm talking about. But that 92, like that little over under, the market bounced. It couldn't hold 92. It's not just any level. 92 was support all morning long. When it broke, it turned into resistance. I'm going to look for it to continue to be resistance throughout the rest of the session. So I did just grab this one. Are the shorts winning today? Charles D. Well, I mean, the NASDAQ's down 2% and the ES is down 1.8. So unless you're talking about oil, and I haven't checked the banks, I have no idea how they're doing. Unless you're talking energy and AMC, then the shorts are absolutely winning. I'm sure there's some other names out there. Some penny stocks are probably doing okay as well. But overall, the shorts have been printing. There are some kernels of strength out there. I'm kind of looking at PayPal to be that. As I just got the rest of my quarters in there. Didn't get a full fill the first time. So this long is better if I zoom in. There you go. So I was looking off 75s. Then it broke out of that range. Now I'm just long 25s in front of 20, looking to get 10, then 15 pennies. I'm not risking more than 5 to 7 cents on this because the money long is actually down here at VWAP.
Should have shorted. Should have shorted AMD.
Should have shorted the Intel.
It looks like, it looks like Looks like Uber doesn't really want to move. The reason, oh yeah, so you guys talked about the banks. I mean, this is why I went over something earlier this morning about get out of the banks and just buy them lower. I don't know if you guys did that, but there's the banks down again today. So that was an easy one there. AMD, again, I don't know. We just touched 77.50, which, you know, that was right into that level there. So normally I like to play the 50s. So I feel, again, missed opportunity as the market's pulling down. And by the way, we definitely have the wrong name here with Uber. So Uber, we've already gotten some out there at 25 when it just bounced down. You saw that one. Unless Uber gets real weak, we're not going to average in anymore until 35. And then we're just going to get it out at 40. I do not like this trade. Let's just sit in it, see if anything happens. In fact, I'm just going to punch it out. I'm just punching this trade out. Let's just keep whatever money we had on this in our pocket and then cancel our Uber. There we go. We're out of it right now. We'll go awesome because I made the decision. Sometimes you have to make decisions, and I made one there. It will be a small, not even. So we're flat on Uber today. We tried it, thought it would be good. The reason why we're flat on it, you say, how are you flat when, you know, we took all this profit? It's because we averaged back into that trade, and then now instead of this getting nasty to the upside, I just don't want anything to do with it. It should have already fallen. So thank you for pointing that out to me, and we tried it, we got out of it, and that's that. So we're now out of that, so that's part of it, man. We have one red day this month, and it's the 21st. So, I mean, we got to stick with our plans here. If we're seeing something that's relatively weak versus strong, we're going to get out of that one and then try to, you know, take advantage of the other names that are in the board, right? So that's what we're doing right now. We don't have a negative name today, so we're going to, well, actually, we are negative on Meta because we got out of that one. So we can look back on here. Meta, maybe we'll revenge trade this. No, we won't, just to get positive. But that's bouncing off the 50 period. Strength versus weakness, it is strong. And the S&P right now is not near 4,000. Well, it's at 4,012. So I think it's a little bit of a nice move to the upside there for the S&P, bouncing off 4,000. I think we're going to test a Meta long here against that bottom. I don't know. Yeah, let's go. What is that? I'm just going to go long anyways and worry about this after. 172.80 on Meta.
So just worth noting, like you just said 4,000 on the ES there. So I know we look at the NASDAQ a lot, way more than we do the S&P 500, but the S&P 500 is at the bigger level, that 4,000. The ES, so the ES is at that 4,000 level. As long as it's within like spitting distance, like 10 to 15 handles, I don't think it's really bounced away. It does feel like we could test it again. That's why I was looking for something and did jump into the short in Alphabet, because I still think we can see that 4,000 level and a retest of it. And if we get there again, I feel like we'll break it if we see that one again. We'll see what happens. I do still like a couple of longs. AMC is not really doing anything. That's a little bit frustrating. But I just added to Alphabet here. The way I see it is if it's going to be a relatively tight stop, ooh, my daily's no good there. If it's going to be a relatively tight stop, I said I'd take some in the low 90s, and then if it got back up to 92, I would add there. Just in case it just flushed immediately, I would have something on board. But I'm not giving it past this little curl. So we're going to give it a little bit of room. Let's work this one to the downside. It feels like it's a good short. I did not go, see, I didn't reverse on DocuSign. Didn't feel like it was the right call. As a matter of fact, got wicked out. I could almost just jump right back into this trade and give it a couple more pennies here and see that this is actually still valid, shorting the 59.5 area. As a matter of fact, given that I like it, I might just go ahead and do that. If it's a reversal, fair enough. I think there's other longs out there than DocuSign down 8%, but that's just me. If I get wicked out, I'm generally looking for a re-entry point, so I see one here.
All right, we're flat on everything except for Meta. So if there's any ideas you guys want me to look at, we'll look at that right now. We're going to get out at 172.80. We're not, like, I'm not even going to give this one too much room. I mean, we could give it to 75s maybe on the downside here for Meta. But right now you can see my price is 06. So it's basically a spread trade right now. Let's see if it gets back up. We did see a big move to the upside there when we broke the 50 period the first time. So we're going to try to see about that again here on Meta. Hopefully it does give us that call. But I don't know. I'd rather just, I mean, now we're, okay. Now we're starting to make that move down again. You know what? We got to look for names that aren't as like barcoding right now.
But they're all.
I know they all are.
Like
so I feel like forcing a trade.
Whoa, what the? Oh.
Yeah, I feel like this is just forcing this move. We don't really need to be in any of these plays.
And
here goes Meta. Meta's going to take out that bottom, and we're going to lose 20 cents. Oh, we just did lose 20 cents there on Meta. Let's buy the bottom and give it 20 more cents. Maybe we can make that back, but it's in a range right now, and I don't really have too much love for this, so I don't know. We're not taking big shares regardless.
I basically just took, I had a 5-cent stop. That's how much barcoding we're seeing right now on PayPal up here. And I got an accidental, well, I didn't have the long where I wanted it. And once I got in, it's like, okay, well, if it holds that consolidation, great. The market started turning. And the way I look at it is if the support has been all the way down in VWAP, why hold the trade all the way to VWAP? I don't think that made sense. But I got accidentally short. I ended up taking like a penny on the accidental short. Sometimes that happens. I had 2 stops instead of 1. I am still in Alphabet. I think this one is going to be the one that makes sense for me to the south side. As the market is just the market does want, I think it wants to retest that 4,000 mark. It just seems like it's geared towards it. Even AMC. Like AMC here looked like it was trying to hold the higher low. And now you're retesting back toward 550. And just like in PayPal, I don't want to hold that trade all the way to 550. If it gets to 550, I'll rather put on another trade. Lose less, work to the bigger price area, and then make sure you get that trade. I will be on the bid one more time if I see a flush in Lucid. Like one more shot at it off that SSR bottom because it has been free money. And I've been getting, a lot of people are asking about BABA earnings. What do I think about Alibaba earnings? I think I will probably trade Alibaba on earnings. I'll leave it at that because, like, overall, like, this is a company that is, it's not going to be about the actual, like, the fundamentals and sort of, like, with the valuation of the company. This is about the risk at the end of the day, and that's what's being reflected in the price. It's kind of been trading at a discount to its fundamentals for a while if you look at it compared to other relative tech names, and it's not a good-looking chart. It does look relatively weak. This could take out the 200-period moving average, and that's all I'm going to care about next week. If it holds 90 and starts until then and then breaks that level on earnings, I'm probably looking shorts. I don't try to predict it. I try to react to price action, and then this is at some pretty key levels that are telling me it can be a short pretty soon.
I mean, I don't know. We don't have much to do that. We just took, like, we lose 20 cents, make 30 on Meta. On Meta, yeah. So there's Meta right there. We got out. We bought it right back. You know, and it's just part of the frustrations, to be honest with you. I mean, this is, just what's going to happen to me. And we're just going to continue to trade it. Hopefully we can watch this thing moon now. And we have the long, and we'll make it. I mean, we're already made it back. So it doesn't even matter. But, again, look, get stopped out at the same level that we buy it, and then it just rips back up to the upside. So I don't know. We're still in it. But yes, sir, Meta, nice move back up. You might see Snowflake here. The reason why is I want to talk about this one as a potential long as well. But notice the spread. I don't know. I don't want to even cross up that much here. Breaking 150, I like it. And then breaking this 152.70 gives us a nice upside move here in Snowflake, which is only down 1.17%. You're above the 50, above the 200, above VWAP, everything. So I think if we can grab this and then just hold it against 152, I think that would be a good trade, but it needs to break first. And if that happens, great. But I mean, right now, the market, let's not force anything. I mean, like I told you, we're already smoking, so we do not need to give anything back. But Snow is a trade that I like here. We've seen it bounce up many times before. It's really stuck here on a 20-minute chart, looking to do something. Before I go to Brendan, let me just see when Snowflake reports, because we haven't had them yet. Maybe they're today or tomorrow, because March 1st, so still a while before Snowflake. So yeah, I was just wondering, like, hey, maybe it's kind of just hovering here because it's waiting, but that doesn't look like it there. Yeah, I like that, Daryl. Let me talk about Shop after, because Shop's another name on the sticky note that we've ignored today. So we'll look at that when we get back from Brendo.
Hey guys, yeah, into the final hour we go for a Tuesday that's remaining pretty negative here. I'm keeping my eye on these right now. This is the 10-year Treasury right now, making its highest level since November. So you got to go all the way back to the end of last year. Same story for the 2-year, back to 472, 473 almost for the 2-year. That's a daily chart of the 10-year. So basically since the beginning of January, this thing's gone straight to the upside. Overall, the dollar, yeah, it's ticking up, but still kind of consolidating at the top end of the range, not really trying to break out as much as some of the Treasury yields are. S&P 1.8 to the downside, 2.6% right now for the Russell 2000 leading the way, 2.25, 2.14 for the NASDAQ Composite and the 100. You joined us early on this morning. We got you caught up on Home Depot, NVIDIA, Uber, to name a few. NVIDIA ends up being a bit of a slide all day after testing that level from late in the day on Friday. It's been downside with the market ever since. Still only 3% though. Some of the other ones faring a little worse. Guys.
A little worse. Yeah, Intel's faring a little worse. That's to be sure. AMD's actually not that bad, by the way. If the market were to rally, and if you're looking for a chip name, okay, I say that as it pulls back off VWAP, but Intel's literally at the low of the day, and the pop was just 10 cents off the low. And I said, once it made a consolidation off the short, that's one that I would get into, so I did. But AMD actually not that bad. If we were to catch a breakout from here, I think NVIDIA would be put in the good pile instead of the ish list. Docu has been in the you-know-what list, but I got wicked out earlier. I've been short pretty much this afternoon. I just loaded back into it. Got the short in front of that 58.50. Play back into VWAP is going to be the name of the game here. Just finding something, again, finding something at a resistance level as the market is doing what it's doing. It's just that simple. Like if the market wants to hold the bottom of this range in a trend, well then shorting in front of resistance kind of makes sense to me on a weak name, which is also trending down. Now, if I pull up the NASDAQ or the ES, it'll be exactly the same thing. So I'm back to the well on this one, and we'll see if we get a nice mover on. I was looking at some small caps here as I pull up my trade ideas scanner just to see what's actually moving. And not a heck of a lot. I know IBIO was big, but AMAM has slowed down. This ZDGE is really not moving a heck of a lot. It really is like AMC and this penny stock that I don't know much about, ATLX, that are going. So it's not as if there's a ton out there in small cap land, which is going nuts. If you guys see something I don't on the small cappers, let me know. But I'm looking at mine, and there's not a heck of a lot going on there. And Lucid did not take off. I see in the chat, okay, look, Lucid is not taking off. Lucid bounced 5 cents. I know it looks like a lot because it's not moving and it's down 9%, but if it takes off, it's going to VWAP. That's taking off.
All right, what's taking off is sort of our net a little bit right now. We just got Meta. Okay, so yeah, Meta, huge move again. You know, we're 55 cents in the money on Meta. You know, like, let's just see. I was waiting at 40. We just touched 39 again. So like, some of the frustrations, you know, like it just goes to show, you know, when you're sitting there with an order that's marketable, a lot of the time they just, yes, sir. They just run you right over. We cancel that snowflake trade. Anybody remember the snowflake trade? Let's go. Hit that.
Money.
Right now, snowflake, we just took 40 cents on that. We're long at 55. We just got an 87 fill, or 88 fill, 87, 88 fill right there as we take a piece out on snowflake. So there's another one. Come on, Meta. Don't disappoint, dude. I might just, you know what? I might just force this issue on Meta right now. See if we can get a better fill than what we had last time. All right, let's force it again here. Let's go, Meta. Give us it down there. I mean, if I can get a third, there it is. Yes, sir. We get a 35 right there again. Spin it one more time. Hey, this is for you. Lilia Trader. What's up, Lilia Trader? There's a bag for you. What's up, Daryl, my guy? There on the chat. A couple bangs for you as well. What's up to Smoke the World? That's a good one, I guess. I don't know. But everybody else, what's up? As we continue to go. There's an out for us on Meta. We went to 35. We got it. Good trade right there. And like I said, we're at the highest spot we've been at absolutely all day. And just the fun and hopefully some of the money keeps coming along as well. What's up, Andrew Keith? What's up, Alan? Everybody. What's up, Bevan S? Yeah, you guys want the cash cow? There it is right there. Bump, bump, bump. Right there. We should put Prad's face on that. This guy's crushing it over there, Bradley. Thanks for all the hard work that Prad is doing. And there it is again, man. You know, the money just keeps on flowing through. I told you I love this job. I do it for my family. I do it for you guys. But ultimately, man, we all do it for what's falling down right now. I got some bills to pay right now. And yeah, those bills are coming in fast and furious when you got the little ones. So there it is right there. Shout out to Bradley Beal on the ones and twos.
Yeah, he's locked and loaded over there for sure. Going to get a bit of a rollover here in the market. That's going to give me a chance to add to Google here. It looks like it's not as strong as the rest, but I did get triggered into a breakout on AMC. Let's see if it can hold above VWAP. It is now clean above VWAP on AMC. Someone in the chat was saying I should be watching IBIO. I beg to differ. But it's bouncing off VWAP, and I want to see this hold to the upside. I have offers in and around that $6 area just to see if the second push can be a little bit better than the first time to set upside. But both the short side was in that little spike in the futures to the upside. Alphabet's still holding for it. DocuSign still holding for it. As a matter of fact, I almost want to add to this position. Like, yeah, it's giving you these little scalp trades, but if the market rolls over, then I should be getting down here. We should be seeing that 59. So let's see if we can't get some out in that range there. Does look like it's going to be a good one. And Intel, if anything, I should have added to this more aggressively. I was waiting for it to go a couple more pennies to get into 35s where I liked it more. If we see 4,000, we're going to see 26 even on Intel. And I just got to be able to get more shares of this one to the upside next time it does so. You need the uptick. You need these stocks actually going up. These names are so bloody weak. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And I backed off. I'm not going to add to Lucid. It's a complete waste of time at this point. Even if it gets another pop, I still think it's going to be pretty useless. This stock... I think Lucid actually needs to break the low of the day or just wait for earnings for something real to happen, because when you bounce off SSR and hold the low, I would have expected more than just like 20 cents of a drop or a bounce. That's how weak this market is right now. Curtis, thank you for the super chat in there. SQQQ has definitely paid off today. You're a great company during the day. I mean, look, the shorts on just about anything were paying off. More or less. However, you still had to put them on. At the end of the day, you can say the market's going down, but you have to find something to short. You got to make that trade in there. I still think there's other ones out there that can work. As a matter of fact, why am I not just getting in front of 25 instead of at 25 on DocuSign to catch a fill halfway to VWAP? I always find if you're bidding the evens, then maybe you're the sucker. So I bid 26 instead of 25 and then got a fill. Now we'll look to see if it gets back into the bottom end of the range. But this is the range, and I'm playing the range. I expect if the market flushes, I see at least the bottom end of the range beneath VWAP here. Alphabet still flat, Intel in the money, Docu in the money. AMC longs, only time will tell.
Yeah, we're going to try to pick up a little bit of snow again on the downside. I don't know. We only got out of a third. Our out's going to be 152 anyways, down on the downside. So we'll see if we can pick something up. Honestly, I know it's only 310, but I'm pretty exhausted from a big weekend. And I've already made about 150 trades. We'll see if we can make a few more, but I need to find the right opportunities. And again, guys, sorry about it. We punched out of Uber at not the exact high. It actually went to 40, where we would have not been stopped out, and now we would have what would be awesome trade on board. But we gave it up. So I don't know. Sometimes I doubt myself, but probably should not be doing that. So there's another example of it right there. We talked about waiting for 34.40, and why did we want to wait for 34.40? Thanks for asking me that myself and you guys in the chat from before. I think it was Andrew. And again, it just goes back to that high. Should have trusted it myself, didn't. And yeah, definitely paid the piper there just by being a little bit too conservative. And sometimes that will happen to me. So I kind of just, take it for what it's worth there. That's how I've had the success sort of, over the years is being as patient and making sure as specific, as necessary on the trades, and then not taking big hits, right? We talked about having negative months and things like that. Try not to keep that in my vocabulary, but it's going to happen as a trader, and I should have taken a little more risk on that Uber trade, but we did flip over to the Meta long and now a re-long in Snowflake here as well. So we just got some 17s right there. So let's see now what happens with Snowflake back up to the upside, hopefully. And then if we break back down below 152, which are these kind of little wicks here, I just want to get out. I mean, the spread can open up, as you could see. Like, I just got a 17 fill, and there's a 27 fill, the very next fill. So, you're playing with a little bit of fire here, trying to catch all these bottoms, but I'm fine with that. If it comes back up to 80, then we will take another piece out on Snowflake. Not really thinking about reloading the Meta. Just making sure that I see now that I don't even have a stop out for Meta anymore because we basically got out and we have a small piece. So I'm not going to reload, but that tick down there looks mighty fine to me. A break back down below 70, and we're going to get out of Meta. So let's take, where are we here? Okay, you're kind of bouncing around a little bit. Let's take a little bit more and then just put a 172, 69er to get out of the rest here of Meta. So we'll buy this little dip in Meta. right now. I don't know what price we just got. I literally just punched into 87s. So now let's see where Meta goes. I think 20 would be pretty cool to get out. What about a 15? Let's put a 15 on the ups. There, I mean, look at that. We just punched in at, what price did I say? 87. It just went to O's. So, you know, these are pretty violent names, but as long as we've got them, we might as well get them out. So let's see if we go back more upside here in Meta.
Yeah, and look, someone just said in the chat, JD's moving up. JD moved up like 30 cents. That's actually not, it's not that bad, but down 11% here. And if anything, oh, it's got that wick from the morning. If anything, look at 47.25 here. That, it's just so tempting to just short it right here. I mean, you can't short everything, but I'm not really seeing this as a strong move in JD. I think it's, if anything, it looks a little bit weak to me. So I appreciate that. DJ saying JD moving up. Not a bad look there. I did get out of PayPal and said, let's wait for VWAP, and then VWAP has decided that it doesn't want to get there. I want the long where it's showing you the trend, and if I zoom out, you're going to see that crazy wick. But it's been bouncing off VWAP here. It's been bouncing off 75. To me, that's where the long is, and everything else is just kind of noise, and then you're wasting your time trading away from prices. And if you got to be patient, then just be patient, because otherwise, you just sort of get into a trade you don't like. You know, you get the tight stop out and then it ends up going up after. But if I get that same long off the bottom, I'm going to be a little more confident holding on to it because that's what I intended to do. So one that I do like, and I went back to the well, I'm going to go again, is over here in Docu. It just keeps on giving you, he keeps on giving the fills up here at that 50 level. I say that, and then it's like, will I actually get it? And over and over again, we've been able to get that short, not to VWAP, but we got halfway, and then we'll try to go the rest of the way there if it wants to continue to flush. AMC is holding up pretty nicely. Going to look to get that fill on Docu, so I want to pull away. AMC holding VWAP here. I don't know that I want to add to it till I'm able to get something out in front of 6. But if I do get something out in front of 6, I'll look for places to add on a gentle uptrend here in AMC. One of the few names actually threatening that it could make a run at the high of the day. I've seen stranger things happen on AMC. Apparently a lot of call buying, it wasn't just the $10 March calls. There were actually some others that were in that top 10 list on the day there. Tesla was there as well. Tesla down at 199. Watch out if that takes 198. That was a big level. Hold on a second. Let me go to Tesla for a quick second on my 15-minute because Arun and I were talking about this one on Friday, that if it can't hold 198, that's got a pretty decent gap to the downside on Tesla. So let's put that on watch as it's a dollar away from it. If we actually get a roll to the downside, I remember that Tesla 198 was a big bottom on Friday, and we have a decent chance if the market tests 4,000. We could see that before the end of today.
All right. I don't know. We just watching this money try to come in again here right now. We'll go back. Yo, what's up to Nightbot? Shout out to Nightbot. Hey, Nightbot. Right here. Okay, so there's another out for us on Snowflake. There's the long at 16. There's the out at 56. So another 40-cent victory for us there on Snowflake. So 40 cents there, 40 cents there. Let's just see, man. Now we're long at 38. So if it breaks back down below 52, we can get out and we'll work on it from there. Hopefully we do continue to bump up. My next piece is going to be at 53s. So just trying to get that. We just missed an out. I was actually going to take this out at 174, 173, and it just kept on bouncing off there. So I eventually put an offer. Now it looks like Meta wants to fall down. It looks like the short's going to print here into this close. So now that we've sort of hit some of these longs, now we can, it looks like we'll get stopped out, obviously, on Meta. It looks like just a couple more pennies to the downside we'll get stopped out. But what about now reversing into some shorts? We liked Microsoft breaking that 253 level. That didn't happen and actually did the opposite and just kept on going to the downside. So now I believe in the weakness here for Microsoft to the downside. So it's starting to go, I mean, I believed it all day, but now you're going to be hitting the bottom of the day very, very soon at 251.75. That little wick is 60, but I still think a break there is pretty good. It's too bad because we should have used these lines a little bit if we could have got them. Those would have been pretty sweet to short with. We don't have them in, so now we sort of have to wait. But those would have been good lines right there. 252.40 if we get back. Another weak name, of course, is still AAPL. Wow, just Apple 148 and change. This name's going a lot lower as well, unfortunately, for all of us Apple holders. Probably this name I could see go to 130. We'll see if Apple can get there. Amazon, unfortunately, we got stopped out of that, and that is continuously go down. I mean, we never, oh no, actually, that's right back to where we got stopped out. Okay, so this is somewhat interesting to me. Come on, Meta, get me out, man. You're right back to that level. Yeah, this is not a bad level to go long on as well. Amazon got really excited there and really bumped up to 95. Again, could have shorted against that, kind of like Uber. We chose not to. Now I'm thinking about a long, a little bit more of a dip down into 94.50, 94.60. I could see myself taking an Amazon long into here as well. We were just 3 cents away again from taking some Meta out. We're long at 84, and I'm offering 98s. The highest we got to right there. Let me just zoom in just so I can get even more upset. Only 92. Okay, so what is that level? 96. Let's just wait for 98s. Hopefully we rip up, and then, you know, figuring out these pennies won't really matter. Two longs, Meta and Sir Snowflake.
And I hate to disagree with you, Tom Vigor. AMC doesn't have enough vigor to get to $8 today. It's not going there. It might go. Look, you can convince me. I'll go to AMC. DocuSign's starting to come down. That's fine. But you can convince me that AMC gets through 6 today. I got no issues with that. Or that on a swing basis, this actually looks pretty good for a setup off that 50 period, sort of bouncing there, and then a couple of days gets to 8. That actually feels like where it might be headed. One thing that's interesting is there was a case made. Michel Hebert, I haven't seen him in the chat, was talking about this, so I want to credit him on this one. But there's been a lot of people putting on the short AMC, long ape sort of arbitrage play. And if you think about that trade, that's a lot of people short AMC into the vote. And if you were to get an upsize type move, then you can maybe put some pressure on them. But the way that ARB holds out, I don't know, like when at the end of the day, like you have the other side of it with Ape, and usually those hedge funds that put those trades on have a lot of risk. They probably can hold on to it a little bit longer, but it's not a terrible theory. I tend to think the value is on the long side of Ape, if anything, and that votes in a couple of weeks. We'll certainly see that one come through. Oh, come on, AMC. Just climb a couple of cents here, and we got our first offers.
There it is, man. Schmoking right there. See you, Meta. There goes Meta. We're schmoking, Gregory. Right there to the backside as there goes Meta. Nice little move back up to the upside. We just bought it. We just got out where we said we would. Now let's see if Meta wants to smoke it to the upside again and again and again and continue to make new highs here. Not new highs, but up to this high right there, 173.60 on Meta. I don't know. We're just kind of playing up just fills that we're getting here. I don't know. I'm just kind of watching my trades, but Snowflake, nice move. Again, just touched 72 there. I don't know. I like the Lucid short. I know Neil's been talking about that. Let's go over to Tesla quickly just to see what's going on over there. I would favor the long in Tesla. Oh, interesting note here. I want to try to call this up. So here we go. I'm almost at 40,000. So try to follow if you can. Right here. I just wanted to, I don't know why this is so zoomed out there. Let's just zoom this in a little bit here. So I just want to talk about this quickly. Whoops. Yeah, right here. The Tesla's Model 3 now sells for almost $5,000 less than the average new vehicle sold in the U.S. That's pretty incredible to me when I see that. And then someone, oh, where is it? There was an example here. I have to go find where it is. Maybe it's on my profile somewhere. An example of how, I'll have to find it. There's my daughter yesterday, by the way, doing some baseball. They're 8 years old. Going through all that watch, and then she comes over here, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, no, there's no volume. And then I think she misses that. Yeah, she misses that. Oh, but anyway, someone put on there that with all the rebates and everything, they had the Teslas down to like 27,000 or something in California for a Model 3. So, hey, that doesn't sound too bad there for a Tesla at all. But here he goes. Market kind of making a move here. What's up, Brandon?
Coinbase, guys, down tick here on decent volume. Day lows being tested at least. 62.50 was that level that just broke. Fox Business reporting this. Brad Katsuyama from Flash Boys fame, IEX, in talks with Coinbase to create a federally regulated crypto exchange, according to Fox Business again. So Coinbase downside.
From Laurier Business School, you mean? Flash Boys.
That's the first thing, you're Canadian, the first thing you say. By the way, if you've never read that book, very, very good read. Understanding the markets a little bit, but also understanding like how just the thing and like thought process. That was fantastic. Intel's in the low of the day because Intel's Intel. So that one is working out enough to the downside. I was just complaining about AMC not
I'm assuming your mic is off?
There we go. My mic back on there. We just went to the can. Don't blame Prad. Don't blame Prad. It's not Prad's fault. We're bouncing off VWAP here in AMC, but the story for me is going to be every time Intel does this, find a short, stay in short, hold it to the low of the day. This stock is going to $25 at some point. I just think you got to ride the wave until it gets there. That continues today. We showed the first pop that we're able to catch, and then it's right back in on the low. I say 25 bucks as if I didn't buy it at $25 back here at the end of last year. Oh, actually, I bought it earlier than that, but it doesn't really matter when you did. 25 is the next destination for this stock, and you're probably getting there this week the way it seems to be trading. So unfortunately, for everybody that's an Intel shareholder, the stock continues to be under pressure, and it's the worst of the group by an absolute long shot. I just complained about AMC not getting to my offers, and it just made another bit of a bounce. But it's got a ways to go before it tests that breakout at 6 even. It had a fail break earlier. I think it's got a decent shot at it here today. We're running out of time, though. It's got about 20 minutes before we get the imbalance, or 25 minutes before we get the imbalances. AMC is one that I would hold through the imbalances. I don't really care about that, but you still have the end of the day. Whereas Google needs to make a move soon because it's not doing much of anything. And Intel would need to move soon as well, as those could move at 350.
All right. Nice little bounce upside here a little bit. Was debating getting this out Meta right now. We might as well get a piece if we can get 19s. Why not? I mean, we just sit. I don't know. Let's go bullish right now. I'm just in chill mode here right now as we're just trying to make sure that we've got the right trades on at the right prices on the right name. So I think if the long is going to work, I like Meta right now. Microsoft's bouncing off 252. That could be something. What else do you guys want to look at right now? So we will figure it out. Yeah, it's called Flash Boys. Good call there. I just saw Neil do that. So you guys can call about that. If anybody's into Citadel and all that HFT trading and things like that, that's a great book. Flash Boys.
You know what's hilarious about that? I want to tell this story because there was a trader on our floor, and I remember they used to trade like sort of like big cap. A lot of the banks, like some Citigroup and BAC, were a couple of the names that they would heavily trade. Two guys on our floor, and they would constantly complain when they were taking big fills and then throwing orders out. That the second they threw an offer to get out, the price would move away from them. And I distinctly remember one trader in particular saying, he's like, Neil, man, do they see my order? And I'm like, come on, don't get caught up in conspiracy theories, because I didn't want him to get in his head. I didn't want him thinking that way, like, oh my goodness, like there is a conspiracy against you. But then, like, fast forward like 1 year later, and all of a sudden everyone was talking about front running, and it's like, yeah, 100% they were doing exactly what he thought. And he felt it when he was putting the orders out there, and I was just trying to say, don't get in your head, there's nothing you can do about it, but he was right the entire time. So when you got a hunch, sometimes you should listen to your gut. And when AMC is going up, you should just try to go long and hold the long. So I didn't hold the original long. I had a tight stop because we didn't see 550. So I elected to take the breakout. Now we are at $6. So maybe we can get to that high of the day. I don't think we're going to $8 still. But it doesn't have to go to $8 to be a good trade today. It has to go to $8 for some people who have some out of the money calls to be happy about it. But certainly the stock on an upswing today. And I do think tomorrow when we watch this, 550, that should have been there. We were looking at it last week. It's annoying. But if it holds this top here at 620 and then gives you a 620 breakout, that can be in play for tomorrow morning, especially if it closes up here and then makes that break sort of, as long as it's above 550, it sets up that double top 620 potentially for the AM. Would be great if it got there now, but hey, you know what? It doesn't have to go there now to set up for tomorrow. We'll go over to Docu, which finally started filling the bids down here again. So this is now heading back into VWAP, but I had to get out of Google. It just wasn't working. We're in Google for the low of the day. It broke the channel to the upside, so I'm out of Google. And we took one shot in front. The second it held that previous support, I'm out. And if it goes down from here, fair enough. I think DocuSign and Intel are clearly two weaker names, and AMC seems to be the strong one.
All right. Yeah, guys, we are really cruising here, and not for a bruising this time. Hopefully, we can see what this market wants to do. It was a good out for us on Meta. We're still hovering around on Snowflake. Meta was a good out. Let's just see where we go from here on that one. I'm hoping we can go somewhere, and it's up for Meta. But it looks like we may fade out here into the close, and it wouldn't surprise me if we indeed do that. We just failed off the 50 period, so we are getting ready to get stopped out of all of these positions. But Meta's going to be a great one, man. We're going to get stopped out. We just took 40 cents there on Meta, 40 cents, and our stop is going to be right here, breaking through 75. So, you know, good risk to reward there for us on Meta, I feel like, and we've already cashed out on Snowflake. You do know about that. We've talked about it. So hopefully, yes, we can get some decent results here for some of these trades into the close, in which I'm going to think about going short right now. Fahad, can we message Juan again about that stuff at the bottom there? Because I don't think, actually, I'll just talk to myself. Because we got to get rid of that. That doesn't mean anything. So I just wanted to see if Neil was short anything right now.
DocuSign and Intel.
Okay, yeah, all right. I was just thinking, like, I wanted to see what names. DocuSign, Intel. So those are two names I was looking at. I am disappointed with Intel as well, like most of us, as we've sort of shot ourselves in the foot with that name.
I sold some covered calls, which is about the only thing that's gone well in Intel.
Yeah, that's been great. So.
No, but I laugh, but it's like, I also could have just not bought at 25. That's the other way to have played it. But look, when you make a long-term play, you shouldn't really care about it in the next couple of months. But
no, you should not. And
sometimes
I think
you look
Intel
at
will be fine at some point. It's just a matter of
we just might be able to get 20.
When
we might be able to get 20 in a few months. That's all.
Or weeks.
Which isn't. That's not crazy. I don't know if it can go there in weeks. It might not get there in weeks, but you could. I think you're retesting the low on that stock. Let's just get that one out of the way. AMC, I might not buy a dip because it's getting late in the day. I'm just going to throw that one out there. And I've canceled my Affirm breakout long at this point. It's too late in the day for me to look at that 13 break. There's Affirm. I still like, maybe this sets up for tomorrow, but it's too late in the day and it's already peeling back. So I no longer like that break of the high at 13. Double top, everything about it looked like a pretty decent break you had last week on Friday. And that was a decent setup if it could have gone through, but there's no trade here unless it breaks the top. I'm not going to be joining this trend this late in the session. It's going to have to show me a little something tomorrow morning on Wednesday. I almost said Tuesday, but it is Tuesday today, last I checked.
So just funny there on the chat, someone said, LOL, Intel's right back to its 2021 levels. All right, so I just zoomed all the way back. Intel's back to its 1997 levels. So yeah, we did, we've had some bump ups. It's not, these are all dividends, so that's why you want to hold it for sure. But 1997, we were $25 in July of 1997 for Intel. So if you held that stock the whole way, yeah, you do want to punch yourself in the face, but you've collected an amazing 3 or 4% a year. But here we go. It is breaking back down below. So I'm worried about that low that Neil's talking about, of course. 24 recently, and then coming into some of these lows. $13. Oh, that's back in 2009. Oh yeah, this is a monthly chart. My bad. I had to do that so I could see how far back we were talking about it. So there's another stock that goes back to the same levels now that it was back like in the 90s or late 90s. I'll think about the name of it. I can't right now, but Intel definitely. I just showed you 97 was $25. So if you held that forever, yeah, it could be a Cisco type of thing. I'll have to relook at that. Whereby you got a dividend, but like you didn't really get any capital appreciation, which for some people is fine. And Intel, again, one of those names that you want to get in and out of. Yeah, there goes AMC back, breaking back down now below $6 now for AMC. I'm staying away from AMC, but let's just wait to see where we go on it. It's broken back down below. I still think you want to take down 620 to really get, the algos and everybody pumping this through. Remember, on a shortened week, it makes sense, man. You could start to see on a shortened week some AMC call buys, that were happening today into maybe, I guess you could have done it yesterday, but weeklies. So we'll wait to see if it hovers around $6 for a while. I think that could be possible.
I just heard, I don't know what this name is in the chat, DFJPR?
Maybe, it was Ford.
Ford is one of them?
Ford was one of those names that basically has gone nowhere fast.
But the Four Horsemen, someone just said in the chat. I actually started out trading as a day trader. My first week was trading the Four Horsemen, believe it or not. So if you guys know the Four Horsemen, then shout it out in the chat. It just means that you've been in the game very long, and a few of those are still around, and maybe some of them are better than others. Just leave it at that. I'm going to be punching out of Lucid pretty soon here. It does look pretty weak at this point, and this is setting up for just an absolute craptastic. We'll see what happens on Lucid, but it's beneath this $10 level. Like, things could get either really ugly really quick. Let's go to the daily chart. Really ugly really quick if it breaks this 950. Or you could have just a massive secondary squeeze. Because ever since that rumor that saw the stock go, and this is a crazy day. You guys remember that from that $9 and it actually doubled up to 18? If it goes right back into 9 even, it's not the craziest thing in the world to find that it maybe catches a bid off that same level. Like, I think that would be, it's actually pretty reasonable that you could see a bid off that 9 level. It has to get there first, obviously. Come on, AMC. AMC's making some higher lows, but it's got to get back above 6 or see some acceleration in volume. See the volume? Not much of a spike. There was a decent one that got the push into 6. It then turned, but the higher lows have been coming in, and this is the only one that I want to hold past 350. The others I'm probably looking to get out of. As a matter of fact, DocuSign is even starting to slow down itself. Like, we keep getting 59.5 to 59.30 and no follow through to VWAP, so I'm not going to be reloading this for like a 7th time. Not enough action over in that name to warrant that trade. There was one other thing I wanted to look at. Oh, it was Coinbase. I don't think, do you trade any crypto today?
No, zero.
So I had a single trade in Coinbase today. I didn't go over this, and I was looking for this to absolutely die when it took out the low of the day here at 63. Didn't end up working out. I kind of went into it, added to it on the way down. It's kind of like take the break, add to it on the way down. But I had a tight stop, and then it just barcoded back and forth. But I still think Coinbase is pretty well set up for another leg to the downside here into 55. So I know they have earnings, but if you look at this flat bottom break, I was trying to get out in front, shorting 63, instead of waiting for it to get past Friday's support level. I just think there's a big leg down if it starts taking these levels. I tried and failed today shorting it, but I think I will be back, as long as it's not up at like, if it's at 64, 64 and a half, I don't care. If it's at 70 to 72, I'd short it. If it's breaking 62, I'd short it. It's the middle that gave me some trouble here today.
Remember, Coinbase, we already did that talk earlier, and you can see here, unless it's changed, I don't know. I'm not going to really update it because it's well, maybe. Okay, it was 15%, the volatility. Let's just refresh that and see if anything's changed in the options pit or how they calculate all this. Yeah, so now it's only a 14% move after a move down today in Coinbase, but this is just Coinbase expected earnings. So this is options AI. So the expected Coinbase earnings is 15%. So if you're going to look at that like Neil was just looking at it here on Coinbase, and look at, what was you said, it was 64 you said or so? 63, so, you know, add 10% to that, gets you back to 70, a little bit more on top. You could get to that 73,
that 73
74 area. So, yeah, I think Coinbase is downside. So,
but then it tests that bottom at 52 then.
Yeah, I don't expect this game could be $40 tomorrow. I don't know. I just don't like Coinbase. We'll wait to see where it goes. But one name that we do like, and we're going to spin it one more time for y'all, because this has been an extremely good money-making afternoon. And so we'll spin that right now. We'll say Dada for Brendo, and we are working on more of these animations. Hopefully we'll get those to you soon. Right now, though, but you're bumping to the upside. Brendan already gave us the imbalance. I don't know if this is courtesy of Financial Juice. It's 473 a milli to sell. So, yeah, I don't know. Not really super exciting on that number. That's not going to make me drop this trade right now. Let's go. Here's a bag for you, Chill Vibes. Let's go. Oops, that's not a bang. Here's one for you, though, Bears vs. Bulls. Here's one for you, Sky Fairy. So let's go, man. Anybody long right now? Let's cheer these ones. Get up to the upside. I'd be happy getting out meta here at 173.70, but happiness is something that I'd be even overjoyed if we got to 174. And then what about VWAP up here to 174.25? So let's see if we have $1 in it. I don't know. We're going to get it, like the risk to reward on this. This is why I'm here. Like, we're in, and I told you I love this job. I'm in here at 85. Our outs are down here, a break of 7. That's 15 cents. Well, we are just now, as it's pulled back, 50 cents in the money. That's a trade of 1 right there, risk to reward ratio. So, you know, we're like Matt McClung here. We are winning many competitions today, just not the slam dunk contest, because this white guy can't do what Matt McClung did on Saturday. What a good... Finally, the slam dunk competition has returned a little bit.
4 for 4. That's all I care
That's because he actually knows what he's doing. Zion said he might enter next year.
Because they get guys who are YouTube stars at dunking. Like Matt McClung, like that dude, I'm pretty sure he was, for sure in college, I'm pretty sure he was legit in high school on YouTube watching that kid dunk. So that's what you got to do.
You got to get John Morant. Like, good call there.
Well, Ja doesn't want to do.
I wouldn't want to do it either.
I want to see Ja do it. I want to see Zion do it, but these guys don't want to do it.
The days of MJ and Dominique and all that,
Yo,
that's the
that's
stars
where it
of
was
today,
at.
like LeBron, like
Never
these
did
guys,
it once.
LeBron ain't gonna do
Never
it, man.
did
He's
it
a man of the people, but he doesn't want to put on a show for them. Oh, and LeBron will sit when you pay your thousands of dollars for your tickets as well, because he's got to heal up, you know. So,
look, man, I remember
shout
Dominique at the end of his career tore his Achilles and still came back and was giving it all. That dude was an absolute showman. The market bounced a little bit, but I'm sorry. It's the low of the day again. This time, actually, I'm going to get on the bid again here of INTC, which last I can just say Intel. But this is again at the low of the day. It bounced once off the low, so maybe it bounces again. I have no idea if it's going to be able to do so. At this point, it just looks like it's an absolute gong show in this particular name. AMC is not getting past that 6 again. At least for now, it's not getting past 6 again. So I'm going to get on the offer in $5.99, see if I can't catch it. I wanted to see if it could break, but it got 6, 2 2s, and then right back in here at a 99. So just going to take a little bit more out there, as it does not seem it's got the legs in it. So a good bounce off VWAP. See, on the way down, no good, but on the breakout, a little bit stronger, able to catch it going above VWAP there. Sometimes that's what you need. Join the move instead of try to make the move happen. Tends to work sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. And look, I'm not saying it's going to be. Look, where is it? I want to go back over to PayPal. I'm not saying PayPal is going to have a good week, but I got shaken out of this one to the long side. It actually held up pretty well. So PayPal up 1%. It's not doing a lot, but you can't accuse this of being a weak name today. As a matter of fact, the one trade I had in PayPal, I should have just held on to and not cared, but I had a tight stop because I thought we'd see VWAP and be able to participate in the trend. But PayPal may be worth watching a little closer for some strength tomorrow. Although I suspect if Coinbase has a bad enough day and the market doesn't like it, you could wipe that out pretty quickly.
we are getting close, man. I mean, Snowflake's going to break lower here, and we're going to be out very, very soon on Snowflake. Just didn't really want to go. We did get some good fills, but not great fills. So on Snowflake, we are going to have to wait to see if we can get anything better than what we currently have. And I don't think so. I think it's going to break lower on Snow. So, and then there we go on Meta, man. Only 30 cents now in the money on a little bit of a missed opportunity. It's only 340, so lots of stuff could still happen here. Tesla just bouncing off of 200 again. There could be a trade. So if you're looking at Tesla, I could see that as possibly being something there for a possible trade. So that's Tesla coming in right now on that side. But other than that, I mean, that was another 200 short. I guess ultimately it's about asking the question, do you want the long or do you want the short right now? If you want the longs, I think you can wait. I mean, this market is below the 50 period right now and looking like it wants to, you know, sort of take out some of those day lows. So just sitting in here in some of these longs, we already have a great price in Meta. Snowflake, oh, we just got dropped. Oh, I still have, did we get out of Snowflake? Oh no, sorry, my bad. I didn't even realize it that I didn't have because I was looking at my Meta trade. That's my bad. We got filled there on Snowflake. So I missed that. I don't have that many shares, which is why we never got, I don't know why. Oh no, we didn't get stopped out because it was breaking 90. So, all right, I looked back and was like, oh man, I guess we got stopped out of Snowflake, but we didn't. So that was a 152.60. So we're long Snowflake at 22. We already took 40 cents. We almost got stopped out there, but we didn't. Like that was just like a matter of seconds there. That order, I guess we got stopped out a piece, but we bought it back. So right there, we almost got stopped by just seconds, but we still are in Snow. So that's my fault. I did think I got stopped on that, but I didn't. So that would be that trade. Intel's back up.
Sean doesn't turn in.
Uber's there. Amazon's 95. I mean, AMD's taking down the low of the day there at 76.50 right there, and then it just bounced up and down.
You know,
my screen just flickered, I think.
Mine did that a couple times.
Yeah.
But AMD, this gets interesting. So there's names out there that if the market hits a fresh low, like say we get a turn here and this was a false rally and the overall market gets to some fresh lows, there's other names out there that I don't think are going to see their recent lows. Like if the S&P retests its bottom or the NASDAQ retests the recent bottom, that I don't think you're going to get. You probably don't see NVIDIA get there. I don't know if you see AMD get there. But the 50 period comes into play this week if we have another day like this. And if you look at how this has been trending, I think when you look for dip buys, when you have to go hunting for dip buys in weak markets, you look for things like this. So 73 tomorrow is setting up there on AMD. I'd much rather go bottom hunting on AMD this week than I would Intel at 25. That goes without saying, but I wouldn't completely rule it out. Let's just say that. I'll leave that for Intel. I'm not going to reload if we pop here, but I am going to put a trailing stop. I want 26 even on Intel on this recent short. If you get the quarters, I always want the evens whenever I see this name. So if we get it, great. If we don't, then 7 minutes to go until the imbalances, and I'll have trailing stops on all of them. I am not reloading DocuSign from here. I feel like that was a great trade this morning. It was a good trade the afternoon. It was okay in the late afternoon. Like, it was giving you VWAP. It was giving you follow through. Now it's giving you 20 cents and about to break out the top. So I'm not going to reload that one at all. If anything, DocuSign showing some resilience this afternoon despite being down 8%. They got their butt kicked. The only news was that they caught a downgrade. I don't even remember by who, because quite frankly it doesn't matter. I cared that it broke 60. One last chance for AMC to get through 6. It's battling, but I have this feeling that AMC is taking these levels out tomorrow and not today.
So I don't know. Yeah, I just want to talk about this because it's AMC and it's back up to $6. We can actually call it up right here and look at this as we go. I know Neil was talking about it, but I just want to show you something interesting. That is a Trade Ideas product there. Unfortunately, we just had the 30% off. I think you can get Trader TV 20 at any point. So that's something you might want to look at. But right here, look. Shoot. How do I... Mr. Michael, no, if I do like this, does it get bigger? No, this part doesn't. Let me see if I can I just trying to, anyways, oh no, now you can't see at all what I'm trying to show you. Oh, darn it. Okay, anyway, these are 3-minute races. I don't know if you can see that, but today AMC won 54 of these races. Nobody else even close. And what this is it restarts every 3 minutes. So like, for Neil and I, if we're looking for something that's relatively strong versus weak, we've actually built these, well, we didn't build them. We're using these races built by Michael Noss and company there at Trade Ideas, and I just use my list. So I input a list. That's why you have AMC, PIN, Snow, Uber, DraftKings, PayPal. Like, just these names are part of my list, so that's why they're in there, and it's going to show the top 10. You can actually filter these to show the top 20 or 30, but this has been primarily dominated by AMC today. So and if you look at the stock, it makes sense, right? It's having these little bursts here where over a 3-minute time, and it just calculates relative, right? It's not like, it doesn't say, oh, AMC went up $1, therefore it won. It just goes $1 into 5 would be a 20% move. So something else would have to be 20% to beat it, right? So that's why this has been very aggressive today, and it looks like it wants to keep on going. So let's go. We have something for you. There it is. It's Ape Nation trying to go to the long side right there. So shout out to Ape Nation. It looks like you're getting your win today on Advanced Micro Devices. No, AMC Holdings. So right there, nice move up. I was looking, man, and honestly, besides Ant-Man versus B-Lady, there is no real, and there's sometimes Quantum Leap is coming out. There is no...
Did you say Quantum Leap?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. Quantum something?
Quantanamera
is coming out, and other than that, man, there's a Super Mario movie.
You had me excited for a second.
That I want to see on April 7th, and I believe it's April. And the reason why is because my kids, I was like, yo, we just got in from Ottawa, blah, blah, blah. We didn't have much to do yesterday. My other son came home for reading week, and it was like, yeah, do we want to go maybe catch a movie? It's family day.
It's reading week already?
It's reading week already, yeah. The best movie was Puss in Boots.
Oh, come on.
Look it up.
Look
it up, man. There's like Magic Mike Reloaded.
That's the best.
Which
Puss in Boots is the best family movie out right now in the theater. This is why people don't go back to the theater, man. You gotta have something better than that. That's ridiculous.
Avatar 2 we've already seen, and that's...
No, but you saw it.
And then other than the Marvel movie, which, again, that's a fit. I mean, look, Marvel's, pretty legit.
But you can't tease me by saying things like Quantum Leap, bro. Don't tell me Quantum Leap
it's Quantum... What's that new movie that they're bringing out for
I'm a huge
Marvel.
Quantum Leap fan.
The next Marvel one
you know what I'm talking about, right? Scott Bakula, the old TV show.
Someone's calling me. I'm on the air. All right, I guess they didn't know that. All right.
They should know.
Oh, by the way, I just saw again that my account just got charged for more Robux today. So that's nice.
Always.
So bye-bye $14.99 or whatever it was. And
Always.
Hello to my kids there playing, whatever the hell they're playing. And then she gets
want
me
those
to
reoccurring
she gets
charges,
me to
baby.
log in yesterday. It's like, Daddy, join me in this game. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm trying to close it and all this stuff. Anyways, Robux wins again.
But recurring revenue is what wins again. That's why Apple's so great. Now, Roblox needs to, they need to make money, obviously,
it.
but they're on the road. But AMC, look, I don't know how many times it just goes to 6 and doesn't go. So again, it goes to 6, doesn't break out, so I get more out. It's like a broken record. It's probably breaking tomorrow. Let's be real. Quantum Leap got rebooted on TV. Jason 4207. I will look that up. I did not realize this. Although reboots, hit or miss, man. We'll see. I'll check it out because you had me at Quantum Leap, but I have a bad feeling about that. Like, I feel like I'm going to go home. I'm going to look it up wherever it happens to be. It's probably on like one of the streaming services out there. But I'm not that convinced that the reboot is going to be any good on.
No, I
if I've never
screwed
heard of it.
it.
What? What's going on here?
Is that what the name is? What's up, D22, not D12? I mean, I love D12. Ant-Man and Wasp, it's actually called Quantum Mania.
That's why I kept saying Guantanamera.
Yeah, right, okay. So I was going to say that's my bad, because I just kept calling it. I thought there was another one coming out after Ant-Man.
No. I was just making a joke of the
Yeah,
name.
okay. I know, yeah, so you knew, I did not. So that's on me there, but shout out to
And Sean knows
D22.
it's Ant-Man and the Wasp, by the way. He just pretends he doesn't know.
Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp. But the Wasp is female.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ant-Man,
But it's not B-Lady.
Wasp, woman.
It's not B-Lady. You
No, it's
call
not
her
B-Lady.
B-Lady. She's Canadian.
Hornet Fire. Is she? Who is it?
The girl from Lost. Evangeline Lilly.
I'm lost. Actually, I like Lost.
That was a good show for like a few seasons.
Yeah,
And
my
then-
wife, well, I had to watch the whole thing. My wife was really into it, and then we kind of got into Lost as well. Oh, she's
Is there ever been a show that had a better premise and a worse ending than Lost? I don't think so.
I don't know. I didn't watch Game of Thrones either, which is my bad. I cannot believe I didn't.
Game of
Chill
Thrones was
vibes.
not
I've
a-
already been approached to be the next Ant-Man. Fortunately, I don't fit in that small-ass costume there that he wears.
It shrinks a bit.
Smoke Monster was the best. Okay, I'm not even. Bad call on Lucid. I don't
even
know.
know
I mean,
what
the
you guys
market's
talking
moving around. How I Met Your Mother, great show as well. All right, only a couple more minutes now until the imbalances, Neil. So we only have 350 as we can go. Meta, Snow, that's it, man. Let's just wait to see what happens here into the close. As it's Mullen time, we still got 30 seconds to go. These will all actively light up, and then we'll be able to make a decision on which way the market wants to go here as we continue to watch AMC. If anybody's in this name, if AMC comes with a big bid, you will see a run for sure into the close, because that means there's some nice market on close interest. Just stick with me. Sorry about that, for only 5 more seconds. Then you'll get the imbalances. Then we can go over to some ideas. I think it's very important to have stop orders out and everything, because this will affect the market. And there it is right now. All right. I don't see anything for AMC, so let's just skip on that. Peloton. Hello, 3 million to buy there for Peloton. So Peloton Nation, stand up, or don't. If you're on your bike, you may fall. Peloton, nice move to the upside. Uber with a sell. Well, I hate to say it, but that just went right to my level again and went down. So that's a sell there as well. PayPal, et cetera, as we go, guys.
So, yeah, I had trailing stops on a few things. Not a heck of a lot happened there. Every single day, we just see all these Brazilian names go to the upside and then be imbalances. You got to ignore them. They're not doing anything. I'm going to punch out a Lucid flat. It never really went against me, but it never moved either. DocuSign ended up stopping out. And AMC trying to go, but, $6. Yeah, nothing happening. There's no buy and balance or anything to see on AMC. It just doesn't seem to want to break that 6 even. I will come right back to Lucid tomorrow off these lows. They've been okay, but unless you really got like 990 or 986 early where we had it when it went SSR, not a heck of a lot to dig into. $10 is going to be a big psychological level. And even Intel, kind of catching a little bit of a bid. Took the first pop on Intel short, and then it hit the low of the day, but not much follow through at all as this one kind of getting its butt kicked. If we see 25 tomorrow, I got to find my way into shorts earlier on Intel, but we like the Chinese ADRs. Like we liked our duos of the world. That was the one. Didn't trade them in the afternoon because, quite frankly, Chinese ADRs don't really move all that much in the afternoons, but it would have been a good short at 85 on PDD. I will be going back to this well. Beneath the 50-period moving average, once you made that break, I think it's a trend reversal on Pinduoduo, and if it's a trend reversal, then as a day trader, I'm looking to join said trend. We started today. We'll continue doing that tomorrow. Doesn't mean it has to work, but hey, the trend is your friend, last I checked.
What's up, Steve G? Yeah, no, I didn't see Wednesday. My family did, and they all of them loved it. So boy, girl, wife, everything, absolutely loved that. And
Netflix.
I don't know. My daughter was turning 9 this year and thought it was fine, and I don't know. My wife watched it with them, thought it was fine. We're starting Last of Us, so I'm only on episode 2.
Where can I watch that? What's that even on?
Crave.
Oh, Crave.
It's an HBO.
There we go.
So it's an HBO show. There. So shout out to everybody on that. Apparently it's great. So I'm gonna watch it, see what's going on with that movie, that show, Last of Us. So I know there's 5 episodes.
That's it?
Oh, 6 just got released this last weekend. So 6 episodes.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
apparently it's pretty
Catch
sick
up
there.
real fast.
Prad, there. You like it, Prad? Okay, so Prad likes it there. So yeah, that's what
The
someone
show
was-
is better than the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't play the game, but apparently the game. It's based on the game. And last night I was talking with somebody, and they're like, "Oh yeah, oh no, it was Baxter, my kid." He's like, "Oh yeah, the game was really good, and the shows." He actually said the same thing as Prad. The show was just as good. So yeah, all right, we'll definitely be checking.
I'll hit
that
this one for you guys.
Yeah,
What's the matter?
do it.
I got 2 left and no longer AMC. One of them. It did finally break $6. Just got to 610. Not bad, but I paper handed it the first time and then we got in on the break. The break sometimes is better than the consolidation long. There you go. I always talk about liking the consolidation better than the breakout, but it's still not through the high, and I'm not sure it does it till tomorrow or 4 o'clock. So I think it was the right call to get out of Dodge on this name. Intel I'm going to hold right till 355 on Intel unless it gives my trailing stop or something like that. It could happen. But there are shorts. There's so many names that are setting up to hit key levels and to the downside that it could be an ugly week because we're past earnings now. A lot of the big names have reported, and you settle in. And if you settle in past earnings on weakness when you had a terrible quarter, then to me you should come in. It's a short till it's not. I said that last year about Intel, and for some reason the last week or so I got away from the whole it's a short till it's not. You got to lose a couple of times on this thing until it's not a good short anymore, and that's the way to play a trend. Hopefully I get back to it tomorrow.
We talked about George Soros buying some Peloton up a little bit, so it's no surprise here that Peloton does have a big bid here. I don't really know the story there if he's fully invested now or what the point of it is, but there's Peloton, nice little buy there on the imbalances, and we'll wait to see that. Someone said that episode 3, I think Rob said this too, episode 3 of Last of Us is not that great, so we'll watch that probably
It's kind of random.
Tonight. Yeah, oh no. Did you guys talk on Friday about Fahad dancing? Why are people talking about
Fahad
that?
dancing?
Well, because he used to be
mean-
that professional salsa dancer, he told us.
No, he is a professional salsa dancer according to Fahad.
According to Fahad.
According to Fahad.
Okay. I was just wondering where that came
Which,
from.
and when I confronted him, and I said, when you say and Fahad, of course, working the 1s and 2s with Prad right now.
Yeah.
When you say you're a professional salsa dancer, I'm like,
Yeah.
look, you got paid to dance.
And he
right?
confirmed that.
And
Oh, yeah, I was
he was
here.
like, and he was like, yeah, he got paid to dance. So I said, why don't you do some moves when you ring the bell? To which he declined. So take that however you want it. He declined to show off his moves, but apparently he's a professional. Now my brother was a salsa dancing instructor, and if you tell him if I say, "Yo, Len, bust a move," he has no problems doing it because he can dance.
But Fahad's a better dancer than your brother.
I mean, look, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying, you know.
All right.
I'm just saying I have seen no proof of it, right?
Oh, episode 3 was great of Last of Us. Okay, I've heard a couple things. We'll wait to see then. That's
Which
why
is it?
that's to
Seriously.
each their own, and that's what makes
Yeah.
the world go round. Right now, okay, so
Crazy,
Coinbase
though.
coming in aftermarket. I'm going to close this. The imbalances right now, they've flipped over. Peloton's still a strong buy. Intel's still a sell. Normally you get a flip at 355, so if you guys are there,
not doing anything.
you'll be able to see, but nothing's doing anything. So let's just go over Coinbase. Look, I mean, Wall Street expecting minus 141, which is Wall Street expecting minus 141, which is down from plus 335 in Q4 of 2021. So, I mean, you're going to go from a plus $3 number to a minus 141. I think it could be a lot worse, man. They're expecting revenues of $500 billion against past revenues of $2.5 billion. I'm not...
500 million, you mean?
500 million as opposed to their Q4
Yeah.
revenue of 2.5 billion. So a 20%, 80% haircut.
I just want to make sure they heard that right.
In revenues, yeah. I think, yeah, hopefully they've heard that right because that's going to be a nasty one. I'm not looking forward to Coinbase earnings. I sure as hell am glad. Heck, I'm glad out of this name because I don't really like Coinbase. I don't know if you could tell that. It really just should have been shorted on all of those bumps up over the last little while. Good luck to everybody that's holding it, but good luck to everybody else who's holding something else on this earnings board.
Yeah, a lot to see, guys. Let's go. Here we go. Aftermarket tonight and before the open tomorrow. More retail on there tomorrow morning as well.
So one of the names we talked about, Palo Alto, after the reverse split, this is now a much more day tradable name for us. And it's been on an absolute tear, double topped at 180. This is, I want them to beat so bad just so it can be a breakout at 180, but it's like 10% away from that price. So it feels like that's not going to be in play. And if anything, it's still kind of expensive. Watch out. If this breaks down, you could see a VWAP play. I think it's a long off VWAP if it gets anywhere close to that level, if it's bad earnings. But it's Coinbase, Palo Alto, and then Baidu was the other one I was going to look at because they're a yada 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 AI name right now, so that gives it some juice.
Yeah, I remember Toll Brothers there as a housing, and then you have Caesars as well. We've already been hot fire with Win. There's been a couple of decent names there. Garmin, eh?
I hate Garmin.
For
my wife should own that stock because she keeps buying those watches, man. Yo, those watches are expensive. It's crazy. Those are. It's like you could get like an Apple Watch. Yeah, I don't even like Apple products, and I'm like, you could get an Apple Watch to my way. But Garmin, hey, more power to them because people pay like a few grand for those things. So shout out to them. It's big for like cyclists and triathletes, and she used to do triathlons, so that's why she wears it. But yeah, I'm still in Intel, but I'm gonna get out now because it's at 06, at 05. I should just take 05s. I'll just bid 03s and see if it gets to the low of the day.
Yeah. Coinbase to zero is not an emotional statement. It is going to be eventually a fact. I just don't. I mean, I think they can eventually get bought out, which would be nice for Coinbase. Let's just see where they go. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't think they're going to zero tomorrow, but you know, maybe your calls might be going to zero. Let's just wait to see what happens when they report. I have no idea. They could report a monster number. Those numbers seem to be low, what Wall Street is forecasting. I mean, an 80% haircut and everything seems a little bit dramatic, but we'll wait to see there. We've seen, I mean, we just had Kevin O'Leary on.
You saw Silvergate, dude.
Yeah, Silvergate was bad news as well. I mean, I would say if you called Silvergate to a zero, you weren't far off. I mean, whether or not it squeezes to the upside or whatever is up to you guys. But it sure feels like if you're invested in Coinbase that you're holding zero, I would think. Unless you got it down there at 30. It moved up like it doubled in a month, right? These stocks have that capability, so don't forget about that. All right, we only have now 30 seconds until the bell. So hopefully that will get rung out very, very soon. So here we go, guys. It's getting close to that time.
Dancing his way over to the bell right now.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Fahad's getting
ready to rock. And by that I mean sauntering like an old man, like he tends to do. But let's drop that countdown on. I'm now out. It didn't get 03s on until I had to take 5s. But low of the day is low of the day. In 6, 5, 4, 3, and ring it, Fahad.
All right, there it is. I like that one because sometimes Fahad is in his own world, and that was a nice little globe there, which looked pretty good. So thanks to everybody. Thanks for joining us one more time here today. What a nasty day, I mean, for the markets. Hopefully it was good for you. We finished pretty good here today, so we're really happy with all that, despite our meta and snow came out right at the end of the day, but that's okay. Let's go over to Brendan and see how this market wound up.
Basically on the lows here, guys. Let's make it official for you. 2.31% there for the NASDAQ, 1.8 for the Dow. Almost get to 2% for the S&P as well. Getting back into some long-term levels here on the support side of things for all three of these. TSX here in Toronto also 1.3, 1.25 there for Brazil. Crude oil downside at the end of the day. This was the only one, if you remember when we came on, that was holding on to positive territory, but we eventually go red as well, guys.
Man, even oil turned red today. That's when you know it's not good. But you know
I
what?
gotta change my contract.
The 4,000 level held. So if you voted yes like I did on that midday poll, then you were wrong. 4,000 did not get hit on the ES. That's about the only bullish thing I can say about the market today. I don't know. That's all I got.
Yeah, it just bounced off 404, so we're probably going to hit that very, very soon. I was just looking on this website to see if we knew when Coinbase reported. I don't I thought 410, Brendan just saying there, so I don't see it on here, but we'll wait to see. So 410 coming out. I bet you it's on here somewhere. I'm going to find it, but it's not. Okay, it's not. It says Brad, so that's good. All right. Yeah, again, thanks, Luca. Again, big show for Luca, big show for Sharif there on the midday. Thanks, Fahad, working like crazy. Didn't hear him once in our ear, so that's good. Same as Prad. Thanks again, guys. There they are right there. Yeah, well, Mark's always working, so we can just always shout him out as well. Sometimes you see him in the background and whatnot. What's up, Liz? Shout out to Liz, Katrine, Justin, and everybody. Bears versus Bulls, part of our team as well. So if anything hits, we'll give it to you. But you mentioned 410, right, Brendan?
Yeah. I just saw, guys, worst day of the year so far for the market.
Really?
We
Okay.
didn't have a day worse than this?
I'll take that. Well, the market's been now 40 or so days, right? So this year, okay, down 2%. We'll take it as our worst day. ES down 1.8. That doesn't seem like the worst day.
I felt like we had a...
Okay, I'll take it. Hey, it is what it is. The stat man has spoken.
It's true.
Okay, all right. Thank guys. Let's good luck to everybody, man. Coinbase coming out very, very soon. There are some great earnings reports to hit tomorrow. So join us again at 8:30 tomorrow, where we will be live trading these crazy markets, and look out for us on social media as well.
Fed minutes too.
Fed minutes tomorrow? Okay, so 2 o'clock to 2:15. We'll watch the market make a little bit of a move there tomorrow. Fed minutes, where we see if they agree, disagree, and throw some smoke on that. So, all right, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great evening. Ciao.